every day. Lance, who's on a heater right now, is going to send one out a little bit later on at the Lance Taylor. Not a heater?
Bad night last night.
You ignore those.
What's the opposite of a heater?
He's on a warmer.
I was William H. Macy last night in the cooler.
He's a cooler.
He's a cooler last night. It means he gets hot tonight. Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing right there. Go check them out at ironmountainworld.com or call them up 205-516-4927, 516-4927. They handle all your plumbing and jetter services. They'll do everything from drips to new fixtures. They are licensed, bonded, insured. They'll give you free quotes as well. Nobody beats them. It's our friend Jeremy Purvis and Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing.
Birmingham Stallions have named their head coach. Have you seen this?
Ooh. I have not. Colin Cowherd made the announcement today of the 4 remaining coaches, including the Birmingham Stallions. It is not Gene Chizik, that would have been earlier reported.
Raleigh Deutsch is not, right?
Raleigh
passed
Deutsch.
away.
No,
The late Raleigh
Deutsch.
Deutsch.
We're not going to use him.
Hold on, let me guess. I'm going to say...
You know this guy. You guys both know this name, and I'll even give you a hint. He was a college head coach last year.
Hal Mummy is the coach.
I don't know that he was a college head coach last year.
I was told, by the way, I was told last night by a reliable source, Hal Mummy wanted the Spain Park High School job.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Randy Edsel.
It is not Randy Edsel. Skip Holtz. Skip Holtz is the head coach of the Birmingham Stallions.
Interesting. Yeah. We know his agents. I think.
We do. That was going to be my next next hint.
There might be a correlation with there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was easy for them to sign the papers.
Yeah. So Skip Holtz is the new coach of the Birmingham Stallions.
That is correct.
The plan is for the USFL to make a big announcement on Tuesday here in Birmingham. We'll bring you part of that here on the show, and then play the full season with all 8 teams here in Birmingham this year. Next year to have 2 cities, Birmingham and another city, to have 4 teams each stationed there. And then in year 3, everybody play in their home cities and then move forward like the NFL and other professional leagues. It's a 3-year plan, $150 million put in by Fox Television, who owns the rights, which is why Cowherd made that announcement earlier today. Before we get out of here, a little Auburn and Alabama basketball. First, the Auburn Tigers last night. Wendell Green here talking about did this team get caught looking ahead past Georgia to Kentucky?
Can't talk about Kentucky at all coming into this game. We always take it one game at a time. So now our focus is shifted to Kentucky. But we always want to respect our opponent, no matter what the record is, and that's what we did tonight.
And that's Auburn getting the win. Now they do get to play Kentucky this weekend. Kentucky, by the way, has won 2 of the last 3, but the last 5 meetings between those two decided by single digits. Auburn's on a 14-game win streak. Nate Oates, after Alabama broke a 3-game losing streak last night, talking about the team trying to get its swagger back.
Guys, before the game, let's get back. We had a swagger about us last year where we knew we were going to come in and play harder than everybody we played. And if shots dropped at a high rate, like they did against LSU last year, we win the game by 30, 40. If they don't drop, we still win the game. It may be by 6, 8, 10, but we're going to win the game because we're going to play harder than you. And I thought tonight, if you look, we had 19 boards. They only had 9. We win the rebounding battle by 8. I thought our guys played hard. So I thought it came to fruition. Let's just play hard, and if we shoot a great percentage, we win in a blowout. If not, we won a tight one, and we won a tight one.
Yeah, they did, and that's part of our hemp pill right there. Sounds of the game from last night, big wins for Auburn and Alabama.
Hey, when something's not running right, flowing right, draining right, or flushing right, disaster can strike at any moment. That's when you need to call our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the team at Hemp Hill, the ones I trust to fix it right, fix it the first time, always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090.
Remember, the show, if you're on with the stream right now, starts right back here in a few seconds. We're always there for you on YouTube, Facebook. You can go back and watch the show at any time. We are back tomorrow live, 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Live show now on Friday, and we'll get rolling into basketball. Probably the biggest weekend of the year down at Auburn Arena because Kentucky's in town, and so is the national television audience on CBS, leading into a major NFL playoff weekend. We'll get to that as well. But this morning, a developing story out of Auburn where we have been talking about this for a couple of days. We even had Bruce Feldman on the show yesterday who hinted that it was likely going to happen. But Derek Mason is out as defensive coordinator at Auburn, and they're promoting from within and going to try to put that staff together a different way with a very Boise feel to it. Just initial reaction, guys, on Derek Mason not being the defensive coordinator at Auburn.
Well, I thought one of the positive things that Brian Harsin did when, it was such an out-of-the-box hire for Auburn was going out and getting familiarity with Mike Bobo and Derek Mason, and especially with Derek Mason. I mean, a well-respected defensive coordinator. Now those guys are gone. And as you said, it's more of a Boise feel in the SEC. I just don't know how this works out. I think this is a big loss. I think it's a big get for Oklahoma State. Once they lost Jim Knowles to Ohio State, Oklahoma State could possibly be a top 10 preseason team. They ended the year at 12-2 in the top 10. So it's a great get for Oklahoma State. I think it's a big loss for the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah, Derek Mason there was some good and there was some bad. I mean, with Derek Mason. And I respect him as a coach. I think he's a good defensive coordinator.
Outside of the Mississippi State, where was really the bad?
I thought South Carolina wasn't spectacular. I don't know that I would say that was his best night. Mississippi State was bad, but then, there was also the good. The Iron Bowl that's one of the best offenses in America.
That's right.
And they couldn't score until the very end of the game. So, I mean, that was his resume tape, was the Iron Bowl. There were, I don't think Georgia, the final score would indicate that wasn't great, but the first half of that game, Georgia didn't just go up and down the field on Auburn. So, I thought there was some ups and some downs. You can't just expect the defensive coordinator to be phenomenal. Now, Mississippi State was awful. I don't know what he was doing against Mississippi State.
I mean, the big picture is they allowed 21 points a game on average, but some of that is skewed. Those two first games can skew it a little bit. The conference game, the out-of-conference games before you played Penn State. But I thought the defense looked good. The recruiting had been really good with Derek Mason. He brought in a lot of defensive recruits, and that'll be the next step for me. Will be two things. One, where's Derek Mason going? Is he going to be at Oklahoma State? As Bruce Feldman was hinting that he was actually in Stillman this week, not reporting that he was in Stillman this week talking.
Stillwater,
excuse me. Where'd I get Stillman?
I don't know. It's a college.
Yeah, Stillman in Tuscaloosa.
That would be a very
lot closer to Nick Saban.
It'd also be a very backwards move to go from Auburn to Stillman.
He's at Stillwater meeting with Gundy. That from Bruce Feldman earlier this week. So that's one thing. The second thing for me is he going to bring some recruits with him that committed to Auburn, and some guys are going to follow him like we've seen happen in the portal so much now. That has become, in our first full year of the portal, and I look at that this year as the first full cycle of the portal. Last year was still sort of new. Now everyone's got a feel for the portal. There's so many people leaving and going, and still even yesterday and today, people are into the portal, out of the portal. And I just wonder if, like everywhere else, there'll be a player or two or three that says, I really went to Auburn because I really like Derek Mason. I'm going to follow him wherever he goes. And see, I'll be interested to see if that's zero or if that's 1, 2, or 3.
I think the one thing you would have to know about this is that, A, that is a possibility. It's a greater possibility than it's ever been because of the freedom of movement right now. B, this is no surprise to Brian Harsin. I think Brian Harsin probably knew Derek Mason wasn't happy. He's 100% aware Derek Mason was shopping around. So he's had an opportunity to probably preemptively recruit those players. Is that going to save them? I have no earthly idea. I mean, that's up to the player. But, it's easier now than it's ever been for a kid to say, yeah, you know what? I really like assistant coach fill in the blank. He's now at Oklahoma State. I think I'm going to see what Oklahoma State has for me. And listen, I don't know Oklahoma State's defensive roster, but I'm probably, I'm comfortable saying Oklahoma State, if they're good enough to play for a top-level SEC defense, top half SEC defense, Oklahoma State's probably interested in the kid.
Yeah, I'll tell you, first off, the best recruit that Auburn had was Robert Woodyard from down in Mobile, Williamson. And he was their top defensive recruit, linebacker. The guy who recruited him
Derek Mason?
Jeff Schmedding.
Oh.
The guy who's now the defensive.
Why would you do that to me? Why would you set it up?
Well, I'm just saying that he's the new defensive coordinator. So if you're worried about losing your best defensive player and maybe the best player in your recruiting class, the guy that's being promoted from within is the guy that recruited him. Him and Zach Etheridge were the guys that recruited him. So you're good on that front.
So what would you give Derek Mason in year one? Let's remember it's year one as a grade.
Derek Mason?
2021, yeah.
I'd probably go
B plus.
B plus.
I would too.
I'll give you another game, Georgia State. I mean, that defense against Georgia State.
But they made adjustments. Second half, they did not.
They did, but
I mean, if they gave up any points in the second half, they lose the game.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. But you were in that position because you gave up a ton of run yards in the first half to Georgia State.
Yeah,
to Mike Allstott.
White running back just going nuts.
He had had a career day.
More yards in that game than he had the rest of the season.
Yeah.
But you guys know what the most important defensive statistic is ultimately.
For me, it's scoring defense.
It's scoring defense.
Yeah.
And look, Oklahoma State was great this year. They were 9th in scoring defense, only giving up 18 points per game. But Auburn, where do you think they ranked?
I would say 9th was how many points per game?
18.
18. I would say Auburn was just behind that. I'd guess Auburn probably 12th.
Yeah, a little bit lower than that. They were 27th. They gave up 21 points per game. But 21 points per game in the SEC is good enough to win you a championship.
It should
if
be.
You have the right offense.
Yeah.
Just running through the recruits, the top recruits defensively. Zach Etheridge is the guy who had brought in the 3 top recruits.
Okay.
He and Schmedding, but mostly Etheridge in on the recruiting of that. You have to go all the way to Trey Donaldson to find where Derek Mason was the main recruiter for him. Trey Donaldson, 4-star guy, safety. But it's Schmedding who's still now going to be promoted to be the defensive coordinator, and Zach Etheridge, who really hit the recruiting trail for the best of the defensive recruits.
The other side of that is reports, I think Jason Caldwell was the first to report this inside the Auburn Tigers, that Jimmy Brumbaugh is going to backfill. He's coming on as defensive line coach. Everybody around here knows Jimmy Brumbaugh. He's coached to the conference for a while, played at Auburn.
Yeah, and known as a great recruiter.
Yeah. Schmedding, though, he was defensive coordinator for 2 years at Boise State. I'm going to ignore, I don't even have the numbers, so don't think I'm ignoring it because it's bad. I'm ignoring it because I haven't looked. But it was 2019 and 2020. 19 is the only normal year he was defensive coordinator. That's why I'm ignoring 20. But in 19, where they won the conference, they were top 15 nationally in sacks, top 25 in scoring defense with 20 points per game. So, I mean, a guy is really inexperienced as a defensive coordinator, but he's got some sort of track record that's okay. And I guess ultimately it's the guy that Brian Harsin is comfortable with.
Well, that's what is becoming obvious with Brian Harsin is that, okay, he came in, he got the job, and he brought 2 recognized SEC names into his coordinators, in Bobo and Mason. And after 1 year, he says, you know what? I like it better when it's my guys, my Boise guys, and I'm now going to my OC and my DC with guys that I'm familiar with from Boise State. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this with guys that know how I work, know how I tick, know how I've had success in the past, and we're going to roll together with my team and see what we can do down here.
Look, and you know what? And that's all fine and well as long as you win games.
Yep.
And if you lose games, you know what's going to get blamed on? The SEC was too big for these Boise guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I make there are 2 comparisons locally. First of all, let me just close the gap here. 27 points per game in 2020 for Boise, so that's not good. But again, 2020 had a lot of challenges. I'm going to hesitate holding a season like that against a coordinator. So we'll have to wait and see. I do remember both Dennis Franchione and here in this state, Dennis Franchione and Mike Price kind of doing what we're talking about here with Brian Harsin. They were like, I got my guys. I'm comfortable with my guys. That's who we're going to have. I'm not going to worry about it being now Harsin.
Mike Price's entire staff.
Yeah. Yep. By and large, Joe Kynes was really the only guy on that staff, right? That had any sort of the only one I remember.
Yeah, and had his kids all over that staff.
Oh yeah. It was his whole family.
It was basically the family tree that came down for Pullman.
Yeah. So Washington State basically moved to Tuscaloosa is what happened there. And Franchione did a little bit of that. Gary Patterson though kept some of his guys. I think Franchione ended up hiring Carl Torbush, right, as his defensive coordinator. That's a big gamble. That is a big gamble when you say, and here's the thing that a lot of people forget. Like, people will kill a coach because he goes from a smaller school to a bigger school and he leaves behind some staff. And they're like, how do you not bring your staff? How are you not loyal to those guys? The one thing you got to understand is a place like Boise, they can't pay what a place like Auburn can pay. Right. So Boise's going to get one grade of assistant coach because they're able to pay X amount of dollars. At Auburn, you're paying Y amount of dollars, which is far greater than what Boise could play. So you're pulling from a whole different pool of experience coach.
That's right. You go from shopping at Walmart to shopping at Saks.
Yeah, and that's why it's interesting for me always when a coach goes from a smaller school like Boise to a bigger school like Auburn. How does he build his staff? Does he say, hey, all of a sudden I got some money to spend. Let me see who I can hire. And that is what Harsin did year one. He went and hired Bobo. It wasn't a great hire. He hired Derek Mason. That appears to be a pretty good hire.
Well, and that's why if I'm an Auburn fan, I'm a little discouraged that I lose Derek Mason to Oklahoma State. Because when you look at the programs, and again, where Oklahoma State is right now in the moment, they obviously had the better year. Going into 2022, they're going to be the higher-ranked team. But if I'm an Auburn fan, we're in the SEC. Traditionally, we've been better. Why is he leaving this program to go to Oak State?
Yeah. Not official Oklahoma State yet, though, right, for Mason?
No, I mean, that's what all signs point to, but nobody has officially reported he was there. I think a lot of people are connecting dots, though.
All right. So a change at the defensive coaching staff and another coordinator at Auburn. Mason is out. Jeff Schmedding is in and being promoted up. Jimmy Brumbaugh added to that coaching staff, so no surprise for Brian Harsin and them that this has not happened under the cover of night. He knew it was coming because he had assistants ready to roll and fill the spot of Derek Mason leaving the Auburn program. Much more on the coaching carousel. Hot seats and all later on. Adam Rittenberg with a great story that's in the morning rounds. And we'll talk about another contract given and an extension in a Power 5 school after I tell you about the great folks at Storm Restoration Roofing. That's Greg from Pell City, Greg Nelson. He's the owner. He's also the guy that's been giving you A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau service for the last 20 years. Locally owned. The name is Greg from Pell City. He's not going anywhere, so you can trust him when you need your roof repaired. Instantly remember Greg from Pell City, Greg from Pell City, Greg from Pell City, Greg from Pell City. You can even look him up on Facebook, connect with him that way. He has got all the warranties you need, loved by the insurance companies, and you know what a pain in the you-know-what insurance companies can be. Not with Greg. They trust him, so that relationship helps you in the long run there. And he'll give you a free no-cost inspection. Call him up, 205-542-3531. 542-3531, or simply look up Greg from Pell City, Greg from Pell City, Greg from Pell City on Facebook and connect with him there. Free no-cost inspection right now with Storm Restoration Roofing. I don't know if it was a surprise to you guys or not, but out at Cal Berkeley, Justin Wilcox gets a contract extension. They extend him out through 2027. He's 26 and 28 in 5 years out there. You throw out the COVID year where it's really, really bad. He's had a pretty good run. But last year was a little bit of a disappointment. He was mentioned in the Oregon coaching carousel. People thought maybe he would leave and go be the new head coach at Oregon.
That's his alma mater, by the way.
So he is wanted by other people. I thought this is a big keep for Cal, keeping Justin Wilcox there.
Again, I wasn't sure on the hire. I didn't know what kind of head coach. He was a pretty well-respected defense coordinator. Once he got that Cal job, I didn't know what kind of a job he would do, but I think we all agreed after watching him roam the sidelines, I think it was early against Ole Miss in a home-and-home, he looked the part, and I think they really respect him, and that's just a difficult job. What Jeff Tedford was able to do there to get them a game within playing for BCS National Championship back in the day with Aaron Rodgers was incredible. And California football is what it is, and if you can keep a guy like Justin Wilcox, I think it's a good get for them.
Yep. So a good landing for Justin Wilcox to stay at Cal, get that extension there. So Mason out at Auburn, Justin Wilcox with an extension there. Also, Jalen Moody looks like he's one of those guys that went into the portal that, according to reports, could be turning around and saying, I'm not going to leave Alabama after all. With all these people who are going to the NFL or other schools in the linebacking room, I sort of like my position at Alabama now. So Jalen Moody, according to reports, turning back around and coming back to T-Town.
He might be one of those guys that is your theory. You theorize that some of these guys go in just to get recruited again, just to get told how great they are, just to kind of test where do I really stand with his staff.
Jermaine Burton, you said that yesterday with Georgia.
Yeah, but he just wants to be recruited again.
More on Jermaine Burton in just a second.
Yeah, that's interesting right there.
But I think there's some of that. I mean, did you ever do that in your dating days back in the day? Did you ever break up with somebody?
I don't know if this is going to work.
Yeah.
Tell me why this should work.
Yeah, just to find out how much do you really like me,
Well, I bet you were a handful today.
Dunaway mind games, man.
Yeah, I bet you were a handful today.
Or as foreigner would call it, head games.
Am I a handful to work with?
You are. It's just.
Wait a second. That was a quick answer.
No,
You didn't even let me finish the question. I didn't even put a period on the question yet.
That was a question mark.
Yeah.
I mean, just your passive aggressiveness and your lack of
Let me
self-confidence.
Let me tell you, I have a lot of self-confidence
Why did you change your shirt before the show?
because LT hated my sweater.
Yeah. He's already had a wardrobe change, right,
I
sir?
didn't even think about that. I thought you were just asking about the sweater to ask about the sweater. You know sweaters aren't my thing, so I didn't think that would be a big deal. Brown endorsed the sweater. I thought you put on our new camo hoodie because it was cold in here.
So Dunaway walks into the office and says, hey, I'm purging some sweaters. What do you think about this one? And I said, it looks fine. Got no problem.
Can we do a poll question?
And fine to me means what, Rockstar?
That's not good luck.
Yeah, no, that was probably enough.
Can we do a poll question? Should I be honest when somebody asks me a
Yes, you
question?
should.
Yes.
Or should I fudge the truth a little bit to make them feel better?
So and then he goes, LT was on the phone, so LT finished his phone call. He goes, LT, I'm purging my sweaters, and what do you think about this one? And Lance's answer was, and I knew the moment Lance said this is the last time the sweater would ever be seen.
See if Rockstar can get it word for word.
Lance's answer was, yeah. What did Lance say?
Ooh, you look like a grandpa.
Nope. He was much nicer than that. Lance said, it's not really my style, but it looks great on you.
Oh my God.
But I mean, that's Lance being honest.
I don't really know what's wrong with that.
So
That's something I wouldn't wear. I wouldn't be caught dead in
so
that
an
thing, but you look
example
good in it.
would be people dog me out. I've got this really bright down jacket that I love because it's so warm. It fits really well. But there's not a chance in hell you would wear that jacket.
Yeah, that
so
would matter.
If I could afford that jacket, I would wear it in a heartbeat.
Only because you wore it. Like if Jim saw it on a mannequin, there's zero chance he would wear it.
No, I don't always.
Okay, so back to so not even Dunaway, but Brown. You
Yes.
wouldn't wear the jacket.
I would not. That lime green one? Yeah.
But if
I
I
would have
asked
a different
you
color.
what you think about the jacket, you'd be like, "It's okay for you, but it's not
it's
something for
fine.
me."
Yeah,
I
no
would
problem
wear,
with it.
I wouldn't wear that bright of a color. I would go with a darker blue or a gray or a black. But I love the jacket, the actual puffiness and
Puffiness
of the jacket.
The
I like
interior
it.
looks
Well,
super
first
warm.
of all, I almost never wear jackets, so that was step one.
Speaking of interior jackets, I mean, Rockstar, can you show them the inside of
this
your
is
jacket?
like a
I've never seen you wear a down jacket, by the way.
the wife gave me this for her business. She had to order a bunch of them. And I said, I like that. Comes with a rain jacket too. I've
Right.
never in my life owned a rain jacket. That's
Okay.
hanging in the closet. So this is a thermal jacket, so
Right.
it keeps heat in. So it's the hottest jacket like today, which is 27 degrees outside. In my car, I had a beanie on in this. And I was like, oh my God! And so the inside
Look at
is
this.
like a disco ball.
All right.
Look at that,
I
boys.
guess.
No, that's good insulation right
Did,
there.
uh,
I
look
mean,
at
it is
that.
so warm.
How'd the moon landing go? You guys good?
We didn't do it. We faked what?
Hey, our cold is a lot colder than like Indianapolis cold. And I'll give you an example. I took Lady Bird for a walk yesterday.
Let him finish this because I want to comment on this.
At like 4:30, and
Yeah.
I never wear gloves. And I had taken gloves with us. I went and bought a pair of gloves for Indianapolis and didn't use them the entire time. I busted out the gloves yesterday because the park we walk at, which you've been to, is wide open, so there's a lot of wind there. But when we got out of the car, it was like 34 degrees, I think. 20 minutes into the walk, my hands were killing me. And I had gloves on, and I was thinking to myself, something's going on. Like, the temperature's dropping.
It's the
I
weirdest
can't
thing. Yeah.
understand this because it was 20 degrees warmer than what we had in Indy, but it felt 20 degrees colder.
So last night, my wife, my youngest had Taekwondo last night. So before we went, my wife and my youngest and I went to the Taco Mama down by our house, right? You know how close you parked to that Taco Mama. It was miserable getting from the car into Taco Mama. And when we came out, we got back in the car, and my wife was driving. I said, what does it say the temperature is? Because it is colder right now than I was in Indianapolis. And the temperature was only 32. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. The temperature was in single digits in Indianapolis, and it's colder here. I can't figure this out.
Dryness of the air.
In Indianapolis?
Yeah, drier air.
And the wind.
Humidity here higher.
The wind would cut you in half last night. It's awful.
Any wind at all lowers the temperature. Feels like.
Why did you just
I
ask
will
Jim?
say that,
He's told you.
when we
People
went
think he
out
does weather.
to Montana and it was in the month of June, it would be 85 in the day, and then at night it would drop, to the 30s, but it didn't really feel cold.
Dryness.
No, Indianapolis felt cold, but when it's single digits, it's going to feel cold.
But I agree with you. Yesterday
but
felt
I was
colder.
blown away with how cold it was walking in the building this morning.
It's crazy.
Does Lady Bird have snowshoes?
Can you read
She
James?
does.
James and Kevin over there who are also
James.
they're weather watchers over in the Farm Folio chat room.
James is our weather watcher up in Coleman. He says it's dry cold up north, wet cold here. I would agree with that.
No, I want dry cold.
Kevin says it's the humidity. It's a wet cold.
Thank you.
Michael says that cold gets in your bones.
It
He's
does.
right, boy.
Yeah.
Last night, I mean, that was it's maybe a 30-foot walk from the door to our car at Taco Mama, and I almost froze.
Now, I will say
now,
we
I
have
wasn't wearing a
we
jacket,
have
of
some
course.
consistency in our weather. Now, there are ups and downs. We've had April blizzards before.
Yep.
You guys remember those well. But I wish we could do away with this humidity to have the not-so-wet cold.
I don't
the not
remember
so
it being
wet
cold
summer.
at all last year. Like last winter, I don't remember me ever having to wear a jacket. Back in our final year at Jocks, final winter at Jocks, the final winter at
The
Jocks.
last winter at
The
Jocks.
last winter at Jocks. I don't remember ever having to wear a jacket. It seemed like it was a very mild winter. This one feels like we're going to have a few cold weeks coming up.
Oh, Jimmy Farmer Almanac.
Yeah, I don't know. Isn't there a possibility of snow this weekend?
I hope not.
I mean, somewhere.
I mean,
Not-
didn't schools get
not
canceled
here.
today because it's
Yeah.
cold?
Schools
No,
are already
schools
out.
got canceled today because there's no teachers.
Yeah.
Eric is out in Oregon this morning, up early. It's currently 7:21 out in the Eugene metro area. Eric, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Doing good. Yeah, rolling into work this morning. As a former Alabama boy living in the Northwest, you guys nailed it. I'm not a scientist. I don't understand it, but I'll take 25 in Eugene over 40 in Alabama every single day of the week, man. I don't get it, but you're 100% right. It's I'm 41 degrees right now with just a long sleeve and some blue jeans on, no jacket, no vest, no anything, and I'm good to go. So I don't know why that's the case, but you guys 100% nailed it. 27 in Alabama, I would be hiding in my bed right now. So you guys are brave for being out and at it.
Oh, Eric, thank you. We got to serve the public.
Yeah, Eric, be careful. A little backup at the interchange of 105 and 5 today on the 105 on your way into work, so be careful.
I don't have to hop on that, but I appreciate the weather and the traffic.
Weather and traffic together.
It is the
Jimmy-
8s or the 2s.
Thank you, Eric.
Jimmy Broadcaster.
That's right.
See,
That's right.
I don't want to do not like a comedy routine or anything like that, but if they tell me the wind chill is 17, it's going to feel like 17. Why do I care what the temperature is? Like, how is the temperature not 17? If it feels like 17, it's 17.
Well, because it's not always windy outside.
Well, I know, but the wind chill is whatever it is.
Well, I'll tell you,
Last night
wind
the
is-
wind chill was ice water.
The wind chill was nothing.
But
like
wind
throwing-
is the difference maker.
It is.
B. Sawyer was stationed in Wyoming for 3 years, and I can tell you I would take 7 there to 30 here.
It's bizarre. I
Jay
don't get it.
Pear, who listens in Dallas, last year he was in Chicago, says it snowed in May there. You want crazy weather.
Yeah, never live there.
Snowed in May in Chicago.
Zero chance I live in Chicago.
All right. When we come back, we'll jump into everything else going on in college football and also set the table for the big Auburn-Kentucky game tomorrow right here that's being brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, with another year done and dusted, you want to jump into 2022 with a mortgage company that can be trusted. Mortgage Right can help you ring in the new year with some cash in your pocket, put your home equity to work with a cash out refinance, consolidate debt, fix that rotting deck, or do what you need to do to get your financial house in order. Mortgage Right's team of experts eager to offer the tips, tools, and guidance to give your finances a boost. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to get started. NMLS 2239 Equal Housing Lender.
Follow the Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, beginning this month, our friends at Wayne's Pest Control, they're introducing their new Smart Pest solution. Smart Pest combines the effectiveness of traditional pest control services with 24/7 rodent monitoring. Smart Pest monitors and proactively communicates to prevent an infestation. SmartPest is the most intelligent, eco-friendly pest control solution available today. Call 866-WAYNES1 and mention offer code TNR to receive $60 off your initial SmartPest service. That's 866-WAYNES1. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Farmfolio. If you're concerned about market volatility or inflation, Farmfolio can help you diversify your portfolio into cash-flowing farmland property. We all know about rental real estate. Cash flow and appreciation are the name of the game. With Farmfolio's productive farmland lots, your trees act as the tenants, and they pay you in fruit, which is sold by Farmfolio's international sales team to the likes of Walmart and Costco, ultimately generating cash flow for you. As your cash flow increases, your property value also increases. Just like tenant-occupied real estate, the best part is you don't have to be a farmer. You own, they farm, and you earn. This is the way it works at Farmfolio. For more information, you can go online, check everything out today. Go to farmfolio.net. That's farmfolio.net. Check it out today. If you're concerned about that market volatility or inflation, Farmfolio is your best friend. Go online today, farmfolio.net.
When it comes to choosing a dentist, two things are critical: trust and comfort. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. It's why I tell you about Stone Creek Dental Care. Dentist owned and operated, and Stone Creek Dental Care is the Southeast premier provider of comprehensive dental care with more than 20 locations, including Birmingham, Chattanooga, Huntsville, Trussville, and Montgomery. Stone Creek Dental Care is able to provide a level of quality care you will not find anywhere else. From your basic cleaning to restorative dentistry, cosmetics, and endodontics, Stone Creek Dental Care covers a wide and comprehensive range of dental services for patients of any age. Stone Creek Dental Care's mission is to provide the highest quality dental care to every single patient in an environment that exemplifies the highest ethical, personal, compassionate, and professional standards, and to provide the best patient experience possible. Stone Creek Dental Care is currently accepting new patients at all locations, and new patients get a free Chick-fil-A gift card at your first appointment. So visit StoneCreekDentalCare.com to find a location nearest you. StoneCreekDentalCare.com. Anheuser-Busch wants every experience for you around beer to be a good one. And getting home safely is always a priority. So encourage friends to decide to ride, whether it's by being the designated driver, calling an Uber, or taking public transit. You cannot drive drunk if you don't drive there. This message is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping on some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And in our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, LT takes off the gloves for in-depth conversations with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmont Vodka. Find these podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Lenardi's bracketology's out, and I will pass some interesting notes about that to you in just a second. We'll hear from Bruce Pearl as we get ready for a big basketball weekend. And John McClain joins us at the top of the hour. 45-plus years with the Houston Chronicle, one of the longest-running sports journalists to cover the National Football League. He'll be with us at 10 o'clock, always a candid guy from the Houston market. He'll join us to talk about the NFL playoffs at the top of the hour. Part of the show being brought to you by Jeremy Purvis and the great folks at Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing. Always keep a great plumber on standby, so important in life. We just had a problem the other day, right? A pipe leaking under the sink. Got to have Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing on standby there. IronMountainWorld.com, 205-516-4927. They handle all your plumbing and jetter services, whether it's a leaky faucet, a pipe under your sink that may be leaking, something with the dishwasher, or if you're redoing a major a construction project, multi-stories, a skyscraper downtown, they can handle it all. Everything from drips to new fixtures. They're licensed, bonded, and insured. They'll give you free quotes, commercial or residential. It's Iron Mountain Drains and Plumbing. They bring you the lock every day. LT will pass one along a little bit later on. IronMountainWorld.com. Just drain it. Bracketology is out. The number one overall seed, according to Joe Lunardi, the Auburn Tigers. Number one overall.
That's interesting, too, because a lot of these basketball people are big on these analytical sites like KenPom, and the vast majority of those favor Gonzaga right now. So I don't know. I don't know how Lunardi does this. He's been on the show before. I don't know that we've ever asked him this. I don't know if he does it like if the tournament started right now, or I think this is the way it's going to play out. You know, I think
that's a great point. I see what you're saying. If it started today, Auburn's the number one overall seed, or I look at the remaining schedules for everybody, and I think Auburn will be the number one seed when selection Sunday
by the time
happens.
we get there, Auburn's strength of schedule is going to be so much better than Gonzaga's, or whatever the case might be. So I don't know how he's looking at that, but I do find it interesting because so many of these basketball people love that KenPom. I mean, that guy he's almost the gold standard. Like we had Andy Kennedy on a couple weeks back, and I asked him if he's paying attention to the NCAA net, which is the old RPI, which used to be what people lived and died by. He's I'm more of a KenPom guy.
Yeah,
the NCAA's got one that they say they go by, and he looks at the KenPom.
Now, good news, I guess, for Alabama is they're still a 5 seed right now with an error pointing up in the latest bracketology.
It's a little surprising, having conversations with other people in Tuscaloosa. Most people project that they'll probably be an 8 or 9 the way they're playing. Their schedule is so difficult moving forward. I guess this is what he projects now. But I think if it even real quick back to Auburn, if you're projecting at the end of the season, again, I think this team's probably going to go 27-3.
Right.
And, 27-3 to me is better than the 2 losses out of the West Coast Conference.
Well, for instance, Auburn's strength of schedule, according to KenPom, if you want to go by that, is 25th. Gonzaga's is 141.
Couple of other notes on bracketology before we discuss it more. Joe Lunardi's latest one out, and, as we're about to flip the calendar to February and then to March, bracketology becomes a lot more important. UAB as a at-large bid, and this is great news right now for Andy and the Blazers. UAB as an at-large is in the next 4 out, so that means there's 5 teams in front of them just for an at-large. So good for Andy and UAB. Great respect there on that. For the SEC, the first 4 out, not in the tournament. Texas A&M, Arkansas, Mississippi State in that order. So there's 3 more teams just right there on the wrong side of the bubble but waiting to knock and get in. Florida is one of the last 4 in, and then all the teams that are, already locked into the tournament basically from the SEC.
Well, 2 things. When's the last time we had all 3 teams in state in the tournament? In UAB, Alabama, and Auburn.
Seems like it's been a while for me.
It's been a while. This seems like that year, but I would ask you about the at-large. I mean, where is that key out-of-conference win for UAB? And when's the last time CUSA actually had 2 teams in the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, it would take UAB winning a lot of maybe the rest of them in conference and losing the championship game to really, I think, be involved in that conversation. But at this point, without that major win, to still be right there, that's a good place to be.
Yeah, that is a good sign.
Yeah, their strength of schedule is not great, UAB's. I don't think there's a path for them to be an at-large.
I think it would be really difficult.
Yeah, I think they've got to win that Conference USA tournament. It starts this week. They play La Tech, who's probably Western Kentucky's really good, but they're UAB and La Tech are on the same side. That's right.
And that's
the 2 best teams in the conference, probably.
That is the 2 best teams in the conference. All right, so we'll hear from Bruce Pearl in just a second after LT tells us about the great folks at Bromberg's.
Yes, right now, what is it less than a month away? It is.
What, Valentine's Day?
24 days,
Look
actually.
out.
We are making arrangements for a beautiful Valentine's Day. You can receive a free bouquet of fresh flowers with your Vietri hibiscus glass vase purchase. Our gorgeous Vietri vases are mouth-blown in Italy, are available in a rainbow of beautiful colors with 3 different sizes. Prices begin at $59, plus our master engraver, Harold Herglotz Jr., does incredible work. We'll add a romantic hand-engraved Italian sentiment for only $10. Quantities are limited. call or stop by to pre-order. This is February 11th to 12th and the 14th at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. Again, for more information on these glass vases, one of a kind, go online, go to brombergs.com.
All right, great gift there coming up for Valentine's Day. Great day for basketball tomorrow at Auburn Arena, 12 noon. It is Kentucky and Auburn. Later today, the Jimmy Buckets podcast will be out with a conversation with Tom Leach, the voice of the Kentucky Wildcats. But Bruce Pearl says, listen, it's a big game. He knows it. Everyone will be watching Auburn Arena tomorrow for Big Blue and the Auburn basketball team in a packed house. So, Bruce, what's at stake this weekend?
Well, I mean, it's probably the biggest home game we've had since I've been coaching. And we've played Kentucky here 3 or 4 times, I think. But there's a lot at stake here. Take away the rankings, the winner of this game is going to be at least in control of the regular season championship moving forward, because we only play them once. And so it's a huge opportunity for either team to kind of put themselves in position where everybody else is going to be looking up at you.
Yeah, so a 14-game win streak, and everyone's looking up at you, whoever wins this game. This Kentucky team's good. And talking with Tom, part of the podcast there, this is starting to shape up like a really good John Calipari team, LT. You know, they come together in November, and they get a little bit better in December. They get a little bit better in January. And Tom thinks the ceiling is still out there for this Kentucky team. They're playing really good, but they get better and better together every week they play.
Well, when you look at that front line of Auburn with Kessler and Jabari, and I know Jabari's all over the court at 6'10", but, you know, it's that front court against the back court of Kentucky, because really the strength of Kentucky is Washington and Wheeler. So it's going to be fun to see, but you look at, as hot as Auburn's been, you look at Kentucky's last 4 out, they've won by an average of 18 points. They are starting to not only win games, dominate opponents. You know, their closest margin of victory was against Texas A&M, where they were down double digits in the first half in College Station, with a team that had yet to lose in the SEC, ended up winning that game by 6. This is rounding out to be a really talented Kentucky team.
Yeah, it really is. I liked what he said about Oscar Tshiebwe, that there are no 50-50 balls with that guy. If he wants it, he gets it. It's one of the best. It's one of the best rebounders maybe we've ever seen in college basketball.
Yeah. I mean, he's averaging 15 boards a game.
Think about that.
If he wants it, he gets it.
I was thinking this the other day. Kessler, just his ability to block shots, could he actually break the single season record? And this is one of the things I do in my downtime, because, again, I have no hobbies outside of the 17 weeks the Rams play. But do you guys know who holds the single season record for blocks?
In the nation?
Oh, no, I'm talking about college basketball, the history of college basketball.
I'm going to say I'll give you 2 names, and I would be
impressed if you got either.
If either one of them, I would say Lou Alcindor or Hakeem Olajuwon.
Okay, Olajuwon's birthday, he's coming up on 3 and out.
It is not either one of those.
Pretty good guesses. I would have actually gone with Mutombo or Mourning at Georgetown, because those guys were so dominant in their times.
None of those. Big Country Bryant Reeves.
Is a Hall of Famer, retired within the last 15 years. Roy Rogers. And kind of in the Olajuwon mold. At least they played a lot.
No idea.
David Robinson.
The Admiral.
The Admiral.
Really?
He holds a single season record, NCAA record, 207 blocks in a season. So I went back and did the math and tried to project this thing out. I think Kessler can make a move like 160 or 170. That's how many shots David Robinson blocked.
That's incredible.
But not, and obviously the Admiral was fantastic.
Different
even in
conference.
the NBA.
Yeah.
He was playing against the YMCA.
He was.
I mean, in that league, what were they in, the Patriot League or something?
He took them to the Elite Eight, right?
He took them to the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
The kids from Colgate were trying to lay it up, backdoor layups, and he's swatting them out.
And that's why I always say that, like, one dominant should be able to take you on a deep NCAA tournament run. For Kevin Durant to not win a tournament game blows me away. You know, we were talking the other night at the LSU-Alabama game on how you had Chris Jackson, Stanley Roberts, and Shaquille O'Neal, and you couldn't get to a Final Four. And a guy like David Robinson, one player who didn't have that tough conference schedule, they weren't battle-tested, got them to an Elite Eight.
Yeah. There's a picture of David Robinson from a story about getting him to the Elite Eight, where he's playing Duke there. So that's different. It's a different look. But even he is skying over the Duke kids there. But when they were playing in conference, I mean, it had to be like boys versus men there with David Robinson.
Yeah, you remember how good he was on both ends. Remember, he won the scoring title one year in the NBA.
Yeah, look at that those arms.
Him and Kevin Willis had the best arms I've ever seen.
You know,
You're talking about lengthwise?
Yeah, I mean, no, like just the shape, just being like
definition.
Yeah. But look, his head is basically middle of the basket, and his arms all the way out past the backboard. I mean, that's a wingspan on that.
That is a heck of a wingspan.
Algeri, where he's got a sweet knee brace.
You know what? He was a pretty good player for Duke. You know what I really noticed the other night, and the more you watch basketball, is how everyone used to be uniformed as far as shoe contracts.
Oh, everybody
you
had the
had
same
to.
shoe.
You had to wear the same. It was a team.
Now nobody has the same shoes.
A kid for Alabama's in green shoes that matches your jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, lime green, he's out there rolling around.
You know, their schedule wasn't as bad as you would think. They were in the CAA back then. The pre-conference the year they went to
is that the Colonial?
Yes. Pre-conference the year they went to the Elite Eight. They played St. John's, number 4 Syracuse, number 20 DePaul, and number 7 Georgia Tech in the pre-conference.
That's
pretty
pre-conference.
good.
I mean, that's like Gonzaga. You stack it up early. Who do you play?
Literally would say to the pre-conference. UNC Wilmington. I mean, those are respected.
Yeah.
East Carolina, James Madison, George Mason.
Yeah.
Richmond.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can piss on that all you want, Dunaway, but
when
those are
was he
good
playing?
mid-major teams.
Wilmington has become better.
What
they
do
were
you
not
know
great
about
back
UNC
then.
Wilmington?
It's in Wilmington, North Carolina.
See, you're talking about, you don't even know what you're talking about.
No, I mean, Richmond, that was about the time they beat Syracuse as a 15.
Richmond, I'll give you. Wilmington, I've never moved them one time out of my bracket into the second round.
Well, you know what? You should have done it in 2002 because they went to the round of 32 that year.
Did they?
Yep.
Good. By the way, 1987, according to Joseph, our great audience coming up with the research, last time Alabama, UAB, and Auburn all made the tournament at the same time.
That was Wimp, Sonny, and Gene, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeez.
Absolutely. All right. When we come back, we've lost a couple of major entertainers that we enjoyed their work. We'll talk about that as we roll on right here on The Next Round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by Culver's, located in Stadium Trace, just off 459 and 150 in Hoover. And coming soon to Tattersall Park on the corner of 119 and 280. Culver's, welcome to delicious.
Banking isn't just about your money, it's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. AmFirst was founded for members just like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means services that grow and change with the times to serve you better. Now, every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you, so it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. You can even customize the app, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the #1 priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. That's amfirst.org. America's first federal credit union, federally insured by the NCUA.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
At ERA King Real Estate, they're empowered by technology and driven by community. I'm Jim Dunaway, and my friends at ERA King have the most extensive training and the most innovative tools in the business. And they're opening their 10th office location in Central Alabama this month. To find your agent, text the word MOVE, M-O-V-E, to 35260. That's MOVE to 35260. ERA King Real Estate, growing to serve you.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by Cardinal Roofing, the Cardinal Rule for all your roofing needs. Your home for financing, one-day jobs, and more than 500 five-star reviews. Call Cardinal Roofing today, 205-900-ROOF, and mention The Next Round to receive $100 off your next roof replacement. Stay up to date with The Next Round at nextroundlive.com. The latest videos from the show, plus podcasts like The Mystery Fifth Hour, Bama and Bourbon, Last Call, and others from the Double Down Media podcast family. You can start your day with the latest college football stories, plus easy to listen to hour-by-hour downloads of the live show. NextRoundLive.com, a great way to stream the show live or shop in the Next Round store. Make NextRoundLive.com your homepage. That's NextRoundLive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
What are some signs that you may have a low testosterone problem? Is your energy down? Have your workouts not been the same? Do you have problems sleeping? All of these or one of these could be a sign of a low testosterone issue. Whatever the challenge, the Alabama Men's Clinic has a solution for you. I'd invite you to come by the Homewood location, get a medical consultation and some blood work. And if you're medically advised and you start your low T treatments that day in the office, your visit is free. Well, the next question would be this: how do I set up the appointment? You can do it 2 ways. One, by calling 205-598-7000. That's 205-598-7000. Or you can go to the website, alabamamensclinic.com. There's other signs that you could have a low testosterone problem, like a change in your libido, or maybe you're suffering from depression. Whatever is keeping you from feeling 100%, it's time you find out the answer. Again, call the number 205-598-7000 or go online to alabamamensclinic.com.
The Tommy J listening to us up in Indianapolis today. I'm in Indy right now. 14 this morning when I got in the car. Anything below 30 is straight cold. Tommy, thanks for listening. On the road up in Indianapolis. Already today, Oregon, Dallas, and Indianapolis as we put little pins in the map this morning. Listening to the Next Round, part of the show being brought to you by the great folks at Hemp Hill.
Hey, when something's not running right, flowing right, draining right, or flushing right, disaster can strike at any moment. That's why you need to call our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the team at Hemp Hill, the ones I trust to fix it right the first time, always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services, 205-229-2090.
And if you're just jumping into the app today, catching the live Friday show, Derek Mason is out as defensive coordinator at Auburn, waiting for the official announcement of where Derek is going. And they are promoting within again, Brown, right? On the coaching staff, adding a couple of new faces and moving one up to the D.C. role.
Jeff Schmedding, who was the defensive coordinator, he was 5 years at Eastern Washington, but most recently was the last 2 years for Harsin at Boise State was his defensive coordinator. He will reportedly be the new defensive coordinator. He was the run game defense coordinator this year, so he kind of had a title. And then Jimmy Brumbaugh, the Auburn great who's coached at Tennessee and Kentucky, among other places, will be hired to be the defensive line coach. So he kind of backfills the staff there. Those are all the reports today from down at Auburn. Bruce Feldman and the Athletic on the forefront of the Derek Mason part. Inside the Auburn Tigers magazine on the forefront of the Jimmy Brumbaugh part.
So Jeff Schmedding has a little relationship with Cooper Kupp.
Really?
Well, Eastern Washington. They were there at the same time.
Yeah. Before we talk about deaths in the entertainment world overnight and this morning, our friends at Hemp Hill want to remind you that anytime you need them, they're one quick phone call away.
I just did the spot.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Wow. Paid attention, Jim. All right, let's do this now. I was watching Rockstar.
It's okay.
You did do the Hemp Hill spot?
I did do the Hemp Hill spot. Unless I'm zoned out, Rocky, I did the Hemp Hill spot, right?
You did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Meatloaf is the one that I noticed this morning when I first got to work that he had passed away. And then we've lost another entertainer that I know Rockstar was very fond of. Louis Anderson has passed away.
Louis was a good guest with us. Really nice. He's a clean comic. I don't know, Lance, if you're a fan, but
I was, and he was. Not only did he come in studio with us, I remember one time I was in a production room. I had to do an interview, a one-on-one, and we had to sit in one of those small production rooms. Yeah. And he had one of the largest heads I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's got a big head.
But it would be like an 8 1/4, maybe.
He played the mother of Zach Galifianakis on Baskets. which sounds weird. But
I heard he was incredible.
It's an incredible role. He just said, like, when they interviewed him, he said, like, I'm just literally playing my mother. But I remember we were trying to get guests on, and we've had Louis on so many times, but I had called him to see if he would come on the show. This is 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, hey, Louis. And I was asking him if he wants to, would you be interested in coming on the show again? He goes, yeah, my brother died.
Oh, wow.
Like, all right, well, and that's how he ended. He's like, I can't do it. And that's the last time I talked to Louis.
Oh, no, that was how long ago?
That was probably 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, he probably had like 8 or 9 siblings. I remember he grew up in Minnesota, I believe.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen the details. You know, I get our friend Harry Long likes to send me in all caps somebody's name, and I know it's been their demise. So I got Meatloaf this morning, and then shortly after I got Louis. So I didn't. Did I see cancer when you were pulling it up?
Yeah, he had cancer. I'm trying to think of what cancer. I mean, I know he was admitted in the hospital probably last weekend.
Sadly, do you think he might be most widely known for Family Feud, hosting Family Feud? That's probably not what he was proudest of.
Or sadly, coming to America, and then that was such a small role.
That was a really small role.
He's going to be on the Fries next, and then he's going to be manager. He had a cartoon in the.
I remember that.
And it was like Life with Louie. We played his younger self. He did the voices of his dad and his brother and everything. Yeah, but Family Feud is what he's going to be known for.
Now, Dunaway, if you ever wear that brooch, I'm definitely going to give you a thumbs up.
That would be
thumbs
all
up. I would be okay.
That'd be all you, yeah.
And then there's Meatloaf, who passed away as well. And boy, that album, the original, not the second one, Bat Out of Hell, not whatever the other one was. That one did well too. But Bat Out of Hell is one of those albums that I think when people started collecting vinyl, even in the 2000s, that's one album they go back and buy.
Well, everybody remembers the artwork from that. And look, his vocals, man, his range for his size, and, you know, this isn't a shot, I guess it is, but, you know, he never looked like the model of health, but he was so active on the stage as a performer, I'm a little surprised he didn't have some problems before. He gets so worked up.
Yeah. Who he does. He's very theatrical, right?
Yeah.
And I remember
such a talented guy too, because again, Rockstar, you'll give me this as a musician. I mean, his vocals for his range. I mean, looking at him, you would never think that he would have the range that he has.
And I remember when I Will Always Do Anything for Love, I'll Do Anything for Love video. They said that at the time that was the most expensive music video because maybe it was like a Beauty and the Beast.
It was in a castle, right?
Yeah, with a motorcycle.
A lot of candles.
Yeah. But it was 1993, and that won the Grammy for
that was his comeback
performance.
Too.
Yeah, best performance.
I liked he did a duet. This is crazy, but a duet with Celine Dion. Do you remember that one?
No. I remember Chris Farley played him on SNL, and it was awesome.
I think it's All Coming Back to Me Now is the name of the song with Celine Dion. It's a really good song because Meatloaf he's a power ballad guy, really.
Yeah.
It's almost like rock opera.
Yeah, that is what it is. It's rock opera. Like when I was a kid, and my first introduction to Meatloaf, what year was Bat Out of Hell? What year was that?
Oh, if I had to guess, I'd say 74, 77.
I would say a little later, 78, 79.
So I'm trying, because I wasn't born until 76, so I'm trying to remember what my introduction to Meatloaf was.
Most likely it was 2 out of 3 Ain't Bad because it played on pop radio. But
and the first time I saw him,
77.
Yeah, the first time I saw him, I just wondered, like, is it almost a Weird Al Yankovic type act? I thought he was just like an actor. I mean, it was almost like a parody, right? I thought he was a parody. And then to your point, I started listening to him sing. I'm like, no, this guy's got chops.
Well, you know, and one thing after, you know, these decades and decades of success and that name out there, you know, I never even went to Google the origin of Meatloaf. What is the story behind?
Oh, I never knew.
I'll look it up.
I think it was something where somebody called him that in school. It was kind of like people called Sting because, I mean, it's just some stupid story that comes out.
I'd rather be nicknamed Sting than Meatloaf.
Because he was chunky?
He played one of the best side characters on Fight Club.
Fight Club, he was really good. He was good in Leap of Faith. Did you ever see that?
I did. What, Steve Martin?
Steve Martin was in it. I think Liam Neeson was in it, too.
I can't remember.
Deborah Winger was in it.
Was in Wayne's World.
I don't remember that.
He was in Wayne's World. I know that because I read that this morning. And Rocky Horror Picture Show is where I saw him for the first time.
And again, I've still never seen that.
Apparently, it was his high school football team. He played defensive tackle there in Texas, Thomas Jefferson High School. And his teammates just called him Meatloaf because he's a big dude.
Craig said his dad actually called him Meat.
How big was he?
He's a big dude.
You never can gauge like actors and entertainers, really.
Right, you can't because of camera angles and such like that. But I always wondered, was his skin really that color, his complexion that color, or was it always makeup? because he always had a grayish skin tone to me.
It is so hard to Google meatloaf size because you get meatloaf recipes.
Yeah.
I don't know
I had that problem with pictures.
Yeah, and back to it, I think we brought up meatloaf the last couple of weeks on the show because I never liked it as a kid, but I kind of, if I come across a good meatloaf, I think it's pretty good now.
No, I love a good meatloaf.
But did you like it as a kid?
I didn't. I never ate it till an adult.
They put something in it. Maybe it was a green pepper when I was a kid.
It was onions in it.
Yeah, I like onions.
They pour ketchup on top.
I think what it was is there was like a connotation that came with meatloaf that you were eating something.
Yeah,
bad.
that it was
like you were almost forced. It was like a cafeteria food.
But
cafeteria meatloaf sucked.
Yeah, but if you can find meatloaf with barbecue sauce on it rather than ketchup, I think it is far better. And I like to interchange those two things.
I don't think I've had that.
Oh,
This
it's
sounds really good.
This turned into breaking news about meatloaf time. Like, I'm gonna tell you, there's a cafeteria.
No.
In Topeka.
It's almost 10 o'clock. We're all hungry, right?
Let me tell you, there is a place here in town, Lance, that prepares it that way. That is in Homewood, meat and vegetable joint that prepares it with a barbecue sauce in it. That is really good.
I know the place without you even
really
saying
good.
it.
Yep, really good.
Start with a J?
It does. Really good.
Do you have to go upstairs to get there?
You do. Mm-hmm. Not parking is a pain in the AWS. But
well, I mean, if you're going to give out the coordinates, you might as well go ahead and just say
meatloaf,
the name.
Let me just tell you, they do it with a barbecue sauce on it, and it's well worth it.
Oh wow! So Mark's confusing me. Was Meatloaf 265 and then he died at 195, or was that Louis? Louis was never 265.
Yeah.
Oh no, Louis always been big.
I got Meatloaf at 6'10", but I can't find his weight. Or 6 foot. 6 foot. 6 foot. I can't find his.
I was going to say, guy should have played post for Texas.
So thoughts and prayers to the family and friends of Louis and Meatloaf as they passed away overnight and into this morning. Part of our show today being brought to you by our friends at Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda. We'll queue up happy hour thanks to our friends at Bud Light later on at noon. I'm going to grab one of these 4 classic soda flavors a little bit later on.
Which one, Dunaway?
Brown
raved about them early on. I'll choose from Classic Cola.
Had that one. It was good.
Cherry Cola.
No, that's the one I had. It was good.
Citrus soda. Did you have that one too?
No, I'm going to try it today, though. I'd already decided.
And then the orange soda, which I think I'd like a lot.
Yeah.
All that with all the pop of soda, each with 0 sugar and only 100 calories, available wherever you buy beer. We'll talk to John McClain up next.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by Culver's, located in Stadium Trace, just off 459 and 150 in Hoover. And coming soon to Tattersall Park on the corner of 119 and 280. Culver's, welcome to delicious.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Cardinal Roofing would like to inform you of a few cardinal rules for roofing. Shingle roofs should be replaced every 10 to 15 years. Damage from storms may be covered by insurance. Leaks are typical where vent pipes come through the roof or in a valley where 2 slopes come together. But the most important cardinal rule is to always call Cardinal Roofing for all your roofing needs. Cardinal Roofing is your home for financing, one-day jobs, and more than 500 5-star reviews. 205-900-ROOF. That's 205-900-7663. Mention The Next Round and get $100 off your next roof replacement.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. I'm absolutely loving my Alfa Romeo Stelvio that I've been in for months now, and right now you can get up to $3,500 bonus cash plus 1.9% financing for 72 months on the all-new 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulias and the Stelvios at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Come experience the passion and performance of Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com, 1837 Grants Mill Road, exit 27, right off of I-459.
Hey, it's Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. You know the best thing I ever did for myself? I visited Way to Wellness. I just feel better when I have my weight gain under control. They helped me lose 45 pounds back in 2020. That lowered my blood pressure and gave me my life back. Everything is designed for you, and there are no contracts and no sign-up fees. And you even get a free consultation. The website is aplanforme.com or call 205-994-2393. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the next round hosts a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation, while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, presented by Redmont Vodka. LT has in-depth conversations with personalities like Clay Travis and Taylor Hicks. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple and Spotify. And remember to like and subscribe.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
There's no better way to kick off the new year than by getting your finances in order. And our friends at Mortgage Right can help you beef up your bank account with ease. With a cash-out refinance, you can pay off your debt or make that important purchase by taking advantage of your home equity. Don't miss out on the chance to make your home work for you. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to make the most of this opportunity today. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
After years searching for a classic jacket that was functional in the field and the city, Tom Beckby couldn't find one he liked, so he decided to make his own. Since designing that first jacket in 2015, Tom Beckby has continued to draw inspiration from natural settings to produce classic outdoor equipment with time-tested rugged materials. Visit the brand new Tom Beckby store in Mountain Brook Village, a local business, with the goal of outfitting you for the outdoors here in Alabama and wherever the road takes you. Mountain Brook Village or online, TomBeckby.com. That's Tom, BECKBE.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2, we'll talk a little NFL football with John McClain in just a second. The Gutter Cap headlines this hour tell you that I'll be able to tell you now that Derek Mason is leaving Auburn. Matt Zennett's the first place I saw it this morning. I don't know if he was the first to report it, but the first place I saw it was on 3 Sports. Mason out as DC at Auburn. Jeff Schmedding is now being promoted to the defensive coordinator role. Also, Auburn and Kentucky in basketball tomorrow at 12 noon. 6-0 in the SEC. Auburn for the first time since 1959 to get off to that good of a start. We'll hear from Bruce Pearl a little bit later on. NCAA members yesterday voting to give more power back to the schools and conferences. 80% of the members voted to do that. The Constitution of the NCAA went from 43 pages down to 18 pages. They threw away the rest of it. And those are your headlines brought to you by Gutter Cap.
Hey, make 2022 the year that you never bring that ladder out again. Again, cleaning the gutters out, it's dirty, it's dangerous, it's a job you don't want to do. That's why you need to call on our friends at Gutter Cap. It's a patented aluminum cover system, fits over most existing gutters. It will keep out the debris, eliminate the gutter cleaning forever. It's back with a lifetime warranty. And right now, 45% off the retail price for the Next Round listeners. Call Chris Stewart today, 823-2212, or online, guttercapbirmingham.com. Cap it, don't snap it, Gutter Cap.
Nobody covers the NFL like the Houston Chronicles' John McClain. He is so kind with his time to join us today. You could follow him on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Good morning, John. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Doing wonderful. We appreciate the time. If I said, and I said this on the show yesterday, which probably means the opposite is true, that I think if you're looking for a shootout this weekend, you go to Kansas City, Buffalo. Do you think I'm wrong?
No, absolutely, because of the way those teams played in the wild card round and their decisive victories over New England and Pittsburgh, and specifically the way Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes played. I think the only thing that could derail that prediction would be if there were wind and snow. And right now it's supposed to be cold, bright sunshine. This is the game I'm most fired up to see in a weekend that is traditionally the best and most competitive of the playoffs.
We start off the weekend with a team you know extremely well, Tennessee, who had the bye, hosting Cincinnati, a team that really came out of nowhere, and Joe Burrow's had such a great year. Reports are Derrick Henry practice this week. He will play. He hasn't played since Halloween. If I ask you who has the bigger game tomorrow, Derrick Henry or Joe Burrow?
Well, I would say Joe Burrow because he's going to have the ball in his hands on every snap, and the fact he'll play the entire game. I would imagine that Derrick Henry, who's returning from foot surgery, the over-under on carries is 18.5. I would take the under because in the second 8 games compared to the first 8 games in which Henry was healthy, they only ran for 92 fewer yards. So Mike Vrabel has the mindset of running the football, controlling the clock, keeping the defense fresh, and it doesn't matter if it's Derrick Henry or Deontay Foreman or Dontrell Hilliard, and they're going to run the ball. And Ryan Tannehill is so much better when he's got Henry back there because of the play action. You got Deontay Foreman back there. No offense to Deontay, who started his career with the Texans, but defensive players don't stop and stare when it looks like he's going to get the ball. But with Henry back there, it makes their play action game even better. A.J. Brown, who's been hurt a lot this year, Julio Jones, been hurt a lot this year. They've been healthy at the end of the season. So the Titans go into this game in better shape physically than any time since early in the season. And of all the players that are going to be on the field this weekend, Derrick Henry is the one I'm the most interested in. And I'll tell you a stat. The Bengals have more touchdowns outside the red zone than any team in the league. And the Titans have a good defense. They've got to shut down Joe Mixon, force Burrow to throw. They're the only team in the league that has 3 players with at least 8 sacks. That would be Harold Landry, Jeffrey Simmons, their terrific defensive tackle, and then Danico Autry. And if they've got to play a lot of coverage, I'm guessing 2 deep coverage, to keep Jamar Chase plus Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins from getting down the field. That's the way they play. They're fun to watch because they're a big play offense, but it's this contrasting styles of offense in this game is going to be so intriguing to watch.
I know it's so new that there are still a ton of Raider fans in Oakland, even though it's in Vegas now. Are there still any Titan fans in Houston now that there's a new team there a few years back, or is that just old hatred now with this Titans organization?
It's strange because this should be a heated rivalry, and it's not. People don't hate the Titans. They hate the Colts. They hate the Jaguars. And I don't really know why, other than they haven't played in the playoffs. They haven't played a lot of games that came down to the playoffs when the Texans are winning 4 division titles in 5 years under Bill O'Brien and going to the second round of the playoffs. The Titans weren't any good. Now the Titans are good again, and the Texans are terrible. But there are Titans fans here who are Oilers fans. A lot of my friends are, and they may not dislike the Texans. They're like 1 and 1A. But right now, everybody here is so down on the Texans. They like everybody but.
Are you surprised at Ryan Tannehill's career in the National Football League? Because you were able to see him a little bit in college there at Texas A&M. Are you surprised he's a NFL playoff quarterback with a number 1 seed?
He started as a wide receiver at A&M, and a lot of people are surprised he runs as well as he does. I think he had 7 touchdowns rushing this season. And then in Miami, he was up and down. He had injury issues after being a number 1 pick. And I did a charity event in Nashville where I've been doing radio for 25 years with John Robinson, and I told him, I said, when you made that deal for Tannehill, that may be the best deal that you've done. And I only thought that because if he could stay healthy, and anybody that plays with Derrick Henry is going to be able to have an advantage when it comes to play action. And Tannehill's been in the best in the league at it when he's had Henry in there. And when he's had to win a few games, like the Texans almost beat them this season, lost by 3 when the Titans had to win to secure home field advantage, he took over. And I'm really eager to see how he plays. In the first game in which they lost to the Texans at Nashville, he threw 4 interceptions, which is his high, maybe his career high, I know, with the Titans. So, but he he is a much better quarterback, as he showed the last 2 years when Derrick Henry is in the lineup. And truthfully, I think most quarterbacks would be better with Henry in the lineup.
John McClain is with us at McClain_on_NFL, covers the NFL. He's done it for a long time and done a fantastic job of it for the Houston Chronicle. He's with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Look, I know Aaron Rodgers is on the other side, but a lot of people are focusing on the San Francisco run game, which is about as good as it gets in the NFL, versus the Green Bay run defense, which is not as good as it gets in the NFL. And they say that's the key to the upset. Do you see it that way?
No, I see it coming down to Rodgers. With Rodgers, there's no way. I never pick against Tom Brady when he's at home, seldom picked against him ever. And I don't pick against Patrick Mahomes at home, and I don't pick against Aaron Rodgers at home. And most of the time I'm right. But, he's 0-3 against the 49ers. But if you think about, okay, Elijah Mitchell and Deebo Samuel. It's not Samuel as the main runner. It's Elijah Mitchell, a rookie who's done a terrific job. But if you think about Jimmy Garoppolo versus Aaron Rodgers, there's no way you would pick Garoppolo over Rodgers as the quarterback. I think the Packers, who have been in the championship game the last 2 years, third time's going to be a charm. It's amazing that Aaron Rodgers is going to win another MVP award, but he's only won one Super Bowl, only been to one Super Bowl, and it's time that he goes to a second.
John, you said you never pick against Tom Brady at home. He's at home this weekend, divisional round against the Rams. He's won 9 consecutive divisional round matchups. They're only a slight 2.5-point favorite. The Rams handled them pretty easily earlier in September. I take it you like Tampa in this matchup?
Never bet against them.
A lot of people are picking the Bills and the Rams to win on the road, and they might. Traditionally we have some upsets when the teams are close, but I no way I'm picking against Brady. Even though he doesn't have all his receivers. I haven't been picking against him till after he won that first Super Bowl. And this is why Sean McVay is under more pressure and Matthew Stafford under more pressure than any coach and player going into the playoffs, because McVay traded all those high draft choices for veteran players. And when they beat the Bucs early on, they didn't have Von Miller. They didn't have Odell Beckham Jr. They didn't have injured running back Cam Akers. They've got them all now. And if any team pulls an upset this weekend, the biggest surprise to me will not be the Bills. The biggest surprise to me will be the Rams beating Tom Brady and then probably going to Lambeau Field for the championship game. But that'd be amazing if the Niners and the Rams play a third time in the playoffs to see who goes to the Super Bowl. But I just don't pick against quarterbacks like Rodgers and Brady, Brady being the best in history and Rodgers being one up.
Hell, John, your default settings has it a pretty easy weekend for you because Rodgers is at home, Brady's at home, and Mahomes is. You figure out Bengals and Titans, you got the weekend nailed.
I was 5-1 head up in the first round. The Cowboys screwed me like they did a lot of their fans. And I thought this weekend I took the underdogs on the road, but picked the home teams to win. I figure I'll get one of them right.
Hey, if you had Jerry Jones's money, could you run the Cowboys better?
Well, Jerry's got 3 Super Bowl rings, and Jerry's in the Hall of Fame, and so right now, when they have a lot of talent, it's ridiculous what happened to them at the end of the game. All this belly aching by Mike McCarthy, still thinks it's a good call, still blaming the officials when the officials got it exactly right. Only an idiot would not understand the rules. If Dak Prescott had gone down sooner, if he'd handed the ball to the umpire instead of the center, and if he'd have had the wherewithal to do that, that split instant would have gotten him another play. But it was a high-risk call you don't call in that situation, and they did it. And because the way McCarthy has handled it since the game, I don't think Jerry Jones is going to fire him after 2 seasons. But, man, going into next season, will there be any coach's seat hotter than Mike McCarthy? Maybe Matt Rule and Cliff Kingsbury. They'll all be trying to sit on that same seat. They'll do a lot of squatting because it'll be too hot.
So the Deshaun Watson watch has been really, really quiet. What's the latest?
There's no change in Deshaun Watson. Nobody can do anything before March 16th, and I've seen a lot of national media saying Texans hope to have a deal by March 16th, and I'm thinking, yeah, and I'd like to lose 100 pounds by March 16th. And neither one of them's going to happen because, number one, he still hadn't settled his 22 civil suits. Well, the Miami deal was ready to go for 3 1s, a 3 and a 5. Nick Casario had been asking for 3 1s and 2 2s, and it was ready to go. And then Stephen Ross, the owner, who did want Deshaun Watson, despite some national media reports that said it was all Brian Flores, he said, well, I want him to get those suits settled. And that was on Thursday before the Tuesday deadline. So Watson, for the first time, told his attorney, all right, let's do it. But they only got 18 of the 22. They couldn't meet the deadline of 3 Central. And so everything went on the back burner. And if indeed he gets this settled, he'll have a lot of teams interested in making a trade for him, like Carolina, Denver, Philadelphia wanted him, and he rejected him. He has a no-trade clause. He said, the only place I'm going is Miami, and everybody took that to mean Brian Flores. And if Brian Flores talked to him, that's tampering and illegal. Most people figure it's because, if you got millions and millions of dollars and you can live in South Florida on Star Island or water with pool by the ocean or the Gulf, whatever Gulf, and then you can have a big boat, why wouldn't you want to live there? Most would. And so he'll crank up again, and there'll be other teams interested as well.
John, if we could ever take you to your favorite restaurant and buy your favorite meal, where would that be and what would it be?
Oh, gosh, guys, I live in the number 2 food capital of the country behind New York City. It would depend on what kind of mood I was in, Mexican food, barbecue, steak, Chinese. I like them all, and I look like I like them all.
He is John McClain. Follow him on Twitter at McClain_on_NFL. John, thank you for the time. Always great talking with you. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me, and have a great week.
You too, man. Take care. John with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Houston is number 2? Is that where he is?
Seemed like he oversold that a little bit. Number 2 food market. He is in Houston. Yes, number 2 food market behind New York City.
Houston now, I think, is the 3rd largest market.
Yeah,
so
but food
maybe.
market?
Yeah.
Well, Houston.
But I still would think that New York and L.A. would be in front.
I'm going to go. I know we probably got to do a commercial. I'm going to go best restaurants in Houston. Let's see what we got.
While you do that.
It's not going to be Houston's.
I like Houston's, though.
I did like Houston's back in the day. You never see them anymore.
I tell you what, while he's looking for that, do the Urology Center update for today.
Are you going to give me a minute?
Okay, yeah, go do that.
I got it, Jim. I'm back.
Okay, never mind. He's back now. We'll do that later on. What do you have? Top food markets.
So, gosh, boy, I thought I had it, Jim. Got yours, Lance?
No. Yesterday I hit
Eater.com.
It was like yesterday I was shooting 40% from three-point land. Today, I am 0 for 15 in the second half.
Number 1 is Squabble, a strong selection of small plates. Generally, small plates is a no-go.
Are we in Houston?
This is Houston, yep. Houston, Texas. Squabble is
what
number 1.
What about you, Dunaway? I'm a
like
small plate guy. Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand it.
Yeah, you just got to get a bunch.
That's what I like about it is you're sharing.
Yeah, I kind of do like that. Yeah.
I'm a creature of habit. When I go to a restaurant I get my particular meal I like, but there are times that the tapas I really like.
Okay, but just honest here, and I had a great time, and it was a great meal. But I left hungry the night we went. Mondelli took us to that great Italian restaurant in Atlanta.
We needed one more.
And we shared that, and everything tasted so good.
Yeah.
And I basically had 2 forkfuls of each thing, and I was like,
that's why I went back 2 nights later.
And it was delicious. But when you're sharing with 4 grown men, I was like, well, I don't want to take too much, so I took just 1 spoonful of each. And by the time I circled back around, there was nothing else for me.
Fat Eatery.
That's up my alley now.
That's PH, not F. Fat Eatery, Malaysian street food. That's number 2. That's according to Eater Houston.
I don't know if I've ever had Malaysian
I don't know
street
that I have
food.
either.
I'm going to say that Rocky wouldn't eat it.
Yep.
I'm getting close to it. It depends. Is that chicken? I'll try it.
Tom
said, yeah, I'll try it.
Tom says this is Brownstown. Houston is home to the restaurant that first served the fajitas.
I knew I hated Houston for multiple reasons.
I knew it smelled that way for a reason.
Number 3 is Xin Chow, another Asian restaurant. It's Vietnamese. Number 4 is Bloodarn. I don't know how to say it. It opened during the pandemic. That was bold. Number 5, I think, is what he's talking about. The original Ninfa's on Navigation. It is an iconic Tex-Mex. I do love Tex-Mex. Love Tex-Mex. And they're known for their fajitas.
Yeah, I do too.
I want a good steak. They got a good steak place?
The only Tex-Mex we've got in town really good is Superior Grill.
Yep, they are good too. This place invented the fajita, it says, though. The iconic Tex-Mex spot's claim to fame is the invention of the fajita. So you tell me that fajita wasn't invented in Mexico?
Blasphemy.
I mean, did you guys know that?
That's what Tom said in the Portfolio chat room.
If Greg taught me nothing, is always trust Tom.
The fortune cookie wasn't invented in China. It was invented here.
I could kind of believe that because all the things
you can't break a tomlet without some Gregs.
All the things are in English. I can't find a steak joint, Jimmy.
Oh, man. I thought he'd give me a meal when I asked him that question.
Turner's.
He didn't. He gave you a bunch.
Yep.
Very
Turner's, they're known for their creamy lobster bisque and their beef carpaccio and king crab.
I am a lobster bisque guy.
You'd like that joint. I'll try to find a steakhouse.
You also like a good vodka, LT, and our friends at Redmond is the vodka of the 2022 World Games here in Birmingham.
Yeah, if you're driving around trying to figure out what to do this weekend, how about just pull in the local package store, ABC store, and pick up a bottle of Redmond vodka? That'll get the weekend going. Again, locally owned and operated. Their aim, clarity, and taste. Color and smell, it is vodka perfection. Redmond vodka made from corn, which not only makes it gluten-free, also provides that smooth finish, doesn't have a harsh aftertaste, 8 times distilled, available at local package stores like Pink Package and Beverage Place and ABC stores. Also, don't forget about your new favorite Simple Classic Gin, Vulcan Gin, also gluten-free and 8 times distilled.
2 things, one sports, one not, in the Farmfolio chat room. So I'm just going to read it, Zach. I don't even know what this means, and maybe these guys do. I'll read it as he writes it. Houston is a pool mecca. If you think you are a stick man, go to Houston to get wrecked.
Billiards. He's talking billiards.
Oh, like billiards pool.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
okay.
was 10 feet deep.
That's what I was thinking.
L and M are really close in the alphabet. I thought he was going a different mecca there.
Yeah, okay. I see. So it's a billiards pool hall capital of the world. A lot of sharks there, like Minnesota Fats.
You can lose your money.
If you are a stick man as in pool.
But if you change that, as in if you're a stick man, go to Houston to get wrecked. Yeah, that still works.
Yeah, I see. And then Chris says Billy Napier has just hired a new coordinator. The position is game changer coordinator. That's what Billy calls the special teams coach, is game changer coordinator.
Where my job, Steelers?
Yeah.
That's what Scott Cochran
Where
called
is Scott Cochran, by the way?
No idea.
Yeah, game changer coordinator is special teams in Billy's vernacular. And that seems to be one of those things that if Butch Jones said it, you guys would go crazy about. But if
I
Billy,
do think it's cheesy.
But if Billy says it and wins some games, everybody will have these cute little names everywhere then.
It's cheesy.
Game changer coordinator down there. He's made a hire for the Florida Gators. All right, that's where we are. When we come back, Rockstar's viewing menu. And we'll get to the hot seats. Adam Rittenberg has gone through every power conference and has the hot seats. Is Brian Harson's name on his list from ESPN.com? We'll talk about it next on the next round.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Some things just stand the test of time. Your old truck, an aged bourbon, the memory of your first girlfriend, and a classic pair of Red Wing boots. Fall is upon us, and Red Wing boots are the ones every guy must have. Whether you're on the job site, working in the yard, exploring the trail, or heading out for the evening, Red Wing shoes will have you covered. Certified fit specialists will make sure you get the most comfortable boots with convenient locations in Pelham next to Publix and the new Trussville location between Metro Diner and Taco Mama. Red Wing boots, a classic you can enjoy every day.
The new location of Walk-Ons is now open at Stadium Trace in Hoover near the Hoover Met. And just like the location off Highway 280, you get authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh from scratch every day. Walk-Ons Happy Hour is 2 to 6 Monday through Friday. $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. Download the Walk-Ons mobile app for an easy take-home experience for the family. It's game day with a taste of Louisiana at Walk-Ons off Highway 281-19 and now at Stadium Trace near the Hoover Met. Did you know there are many different causes to erectile dysfunction? Causes like a heart condition, diabetes, a reaction to medication, or simply low testosterone. I'm Jim Dunaway, and I'm so glad the Alabama Men's Clinic is right here in Birmingham. They've treated thousands of Alabama men for ED. And listen, men, this is one game you never want to be out of. And that's why the Alabama Men's Clinic staff will find the problem, and some of you will be back in the game the day after your first appointment. Set up that appointment by calling 205-598-7000, 205-598-7000, or go to the website, alabamamensclinic.com. As I told you, there are many reasons you could be having an ED problem, and you want to find out the answer. Most men wait years before they even address the issue with a doctor. Get rid of depression, get rid of anxiety, make a new connection with that special person in your life. Again, the number, 205-598-7000, or get back in the game at alabamamensclinic.com.
I want my lawn to look better than anybody else's on my street. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Here's one problem. I play a lot of golf, but I'm not a greenskeeper. It's why I depend on my friends at Wayne's. And now is the time to make sure your lawn is properly prepared to grow healthy and lush when spring rolls around. Let the lawn professionals at Wayne's set you up for success as your lawn enters dormancy for the winter season. I depend on them for my lawn. You should too. Get Wayne's treating your lawn now so it looks great in the spring. 866-WAYNES-1. That's 866-WAYNES-1.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by Excalibur Services. Join our Total Home Comfort Club. Just like your car, your heating and cooling, electrical and plumbing systems need to be maintained for top performance, safety, and comfort. Call 205-718-8688. Excalibur Services. Alabama license number 15214.
When it comes to choosing a dentist, two things are critical: trust and comfort. Ryan Brown here from the next round. It's why I tell you about Stone Creek Dental Care. Dentist owned and operated, and Stone Creek Dental Care is the Southeast premier provider of comprehensive dental care with more than 20 locations, including Birmingham, Chattanooga, Huntsville, Trussville, and Montgomery. Stone Creek Dental Care is able to provide a level of quality care you will not find anywhere else. From your basic cleaning to restorative dentistry, cosmetics, and endodontics, Stone Creek Dental Care covers a wide and comprehensive range of dental services for patients of any age. Stone Creek Dental Care's mission is to provide the highest quality dental care to every single patient in an environment that exemplifies the highest ethical, personal, compassionate, and professional standards, and to provide the best patient experience possible. Stone Creek Dental Care is currently accepting new patients at all locations, and new patients get a free Chick-fil-A gift card at your first appointment. So visit StoneCreekDentalCare.com to find a location nearest you. StoneCreekDentalCare.com. Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Back with you on the next round. LTD and B, Rockstar, Forrester, and Lunsford all here. Lunsford's got a few days off coming back. Can I tell people where he's going? Thumbs up, thumbs down from Lunsford?
I think he's fine with it. I mean,
we're sending Lunsford off to participate in the World Series of Poker on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
That's pretty cool. Where is it? Vegas?
It's the tour that's going around. So you win here and you can work your way to Vegas.
But where's the tour here? It's not Birmingham, is it?
No, he's over in Tunica, I believe.
It's Tunica.
Yeah. So it's like first round of the NCAA tournament.
Did the old Primetime Poker Club that you're part of, did y'all give them a big send-off?
I think you get invited, and I didn't get invited.
To the poker club? I thought you were a poker club member.
Oh, I am. I'm talking about getting invited to the World Series of Poker.
No. I'm saying, did y'all give Lunsford a big send-off?
I don't know. I haven't been since they gave me the book, Poker for Dummies.
It's like on Hoosiers. Like where the little town gives a big send-off?
Yeah.
You go make it big. You don't come back here now. This is your ticket out of here.
You're making it sound like all of Lunsford's friends will be in a car behind his bus on the way to Tunica.
You think he'll stay in Tunica? I don't know. They just got his Zaxby's.
Obviously, there's a lot of really good poker players. Is Lunsford really good?
He is really, really good. I get into his head a little bit.
I bet.
I'm like, is there a team that sucks but always beats a really good team?
San Francisco.
The 49ers and Rams.
No.
I'm the 49ers and he's the Rams.
Yeah, there is an example of that.
I don't know who it is, but
how about TCU owned Texas? Not that Texas was good.
Somebody always almost beat Clemson all the time. Who was it?
Pitt. It seemed like Pitt played with them every time.
It was Syracuse. I'm Syracuse. I'm Syracuse football. He's Clemson football with Dabo.
But you never take his money, right?
No, but I cost him sometimes.
Have you guys ever seen the movie October Sky? It's Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a good family flick. Jake Gyllenhaal, he's in a West Virginia coal miner town. His old man is Chris Cooper.
Very good actor.
Yeah, Chris Cooper, who plays crusty old man pretty well.
Yeah.
And
best in American Beauty.
Yeah. So Chris
Don't
Cooper.
you placate me, son.
Chris Cooper wants the kid to be a coal miner, but the kid wants to go off to college and learn science. So he enters this science fair where he's got to build a rocket, and the town's sending him off, and the teacher says, "You go win this thing. It's your ticket out of here, so you don't have to be in that coal mine." That's what we're doing at Lunsford. This is your ticket out of here. You go win this.
What was your ticket out of the mud pile?
It was broadcasting. It was you. It was you, man. Thank you.
No. I knew you a long time after you were doing Tandex and.
Maybe it was Herb. Matt Coulter, Scott Griffin. They all helped. Doug Bell helped give me my first job. Tom Roberts from the Crimson Tide Sports Network.
You mentioned some of those names, some of the inspiration. Now I do remember you telling the story.
Yeah. So Tom Roberts though was the guy who said, I can't hire you here at 13, but let's go over to 42. They can hire you. And he drove me over to 42.
They owe me a favor.
Got me a job.
You can't work on my campaign, but you can work on my opponent's campaign.
That's about what it was like.
After you left, he called you son of a bitch. You owe me a favor. I said I was never going to spill your secrets.
All right, Rockstar's View and Menu brought to you by our friends at New Life Art.
Hey, New Life Art, bringing you memorable sports moments by Daniel A. Moore for over 40 years. Call him today, 1-800-735-2787. You can view his incredible work. Go to danielmooreart.com.
Of course, the big one.
Yeah.
Netflix, Ozark. Season 4, Part 1, premiered at midnight today. I'm guessing we're going to knock out, I'm hoping, 2 episodes. I don't want to binge.
That's what you're going to do?
Yeah, I don't want to binge.
I think I read it's 7 and 7. I think it's a 14-series season, and it's 7 this time.
Yeah, I'm going to go 2 tonight. I'm going to be caught up tomorrow night with San Fran and Green Bay, but I probably will go 2 tonight. I'm surprised we haven't seen any feedback. Obviously, we don't want any spoilers, but I'm wondering, there has to be some of our listeners and viewers that have seen some of the episodes from last night.
I would really like it if he just sort of shut down just make Ozark a word that cannot pop up in the Farm Folio
No, but I mean,
chat
you
room.
can say, hey, I've seen the first couple of episodes and they are awesome, or I'm a little disappointed. Yellowstone, when this season came out, I think the majority of people, I completely tapped out after 3 episodes.
I debated. I was up at like 10:30 and my wife had already gone to bed. It would have dropped at 11 Central, right? Because it dropped at 12 Eastern.
Ooh, I don't know.
I debated staying up and seeing if one dropped and just catching the first one last night, but
That's a dunaway.
The bad won that debate.
Jimmy, no sleep.
Yeah,
because then you see the end of the first episode, which is
I
a
know.
cliffhanger
That's
to the
what I
second
knew.
episode.
I knew I would never
It's a
be able to
domino
stop
effect.
at one. Yep.
And Apple TV tonight, or Apple Plus, whatever the hell they call it, the return of Fraggle Rock. They're bringing back Jim Henson's Fraggle Rock in the same kind of with the doozers and the trash heap and everything. So
I loved it.
I never got into it.
Yeah, me
so
either.
I think it's like a 30th anniversary this year too. And then Apple TV again, Servant season 3 premieres. Luke and Bill talked about it. We watched the first season. Lance, if you like the uncomfortable stuff, this is one of the most uncomfortable shows. A couple loses their baby, and the way that they get the wife to cope is they give her a doll, and she treats it like a child.
I don't like anything with the losing of a child.
I mean, it is so uncomfortable.
There. Yeah.
But then there's some kind of satanic part of it. Like we watched the first season and we tapped out. But
that
season
sounds
3,
like a winner. Even I'm not going that dark, fellas.
All right, that's what Rockstar is watching today, brought to you by our friends at New Life Art. All right, here we go. ESPN.com's Adam Rittenberg has hot seats for college football for every Power 5 conference. In the Southeastern Conference, he says there are no hot seats, but keep an eye on
Brian Harsin?
Brian Harsin at Auburn.
You know, the thing I would say about this, Brown, and I think you'll agree, Auburn has been really patient with head coaches. But if you've got a little dysfunction, you've got coaches leaving, not happy there, you've got guys transferring out, and you follow up last year's 6-7 with another 6-7, which I don't know about you guys, at least on the surface, this seems like a 500 team based on the SEC West they're going to be playing in.
I'll go back to early in the show. I'm digging back right now to try to find it. When we were talking about the departure of Derek Mason, Jace writes in and says, you got to wonder about Harsin. Loses 2 coordinators after a 6-7 year and finishes with 5 straight losses. Not to mention, and this is, I think, key in this discussion, your 2 biggest rivals just played for the national championship. And
well, that is what makes the job so much harder at Auburn right now is the success that Alabama and Georgia are having.
That's right. Both in recruiting and on the field. And if you threw up another 6-7, 6-6, Not saying you'd get fired, but boy, it would be super uncomfortable.
Rittenberg mentions the 5 losses to end the season, including what he calls a deflating Iron Bowl collapse.
Had to be.
I thought it was a valiant effort from Auburn that I don't think many Auburn fans were expecting when they went to the stadium that day. Though you were disappointed with the loss, I feel like you left that game going, boy, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was sort of proud of our guys.
Well, I think both those could be true, though. You're proud of your guys, but it had to be deflating.
Yeah.
I mean, you had that game won, and you let Bryce Young go 98 on you.
Here is what he writes, though. A contract that runs through the 2026 season favors Harson's return for year 3. But Auburn has a long history of being unafraid to dump coaches to whom it owes gobs of money.
Well, that is true.
And the future of the athletic director, Alan Green, who hired Harsin, is also worth watching, as he could soon be on the move. The potential combination of a poor 2022 season and a new AD would not help Harsin in this situation. And the money thing in a second, but Alan Green is somebody that you don't see a ton of around Auburn these days, or on camera, or doing a lot of things. He comes out for championships, and you see him at the basketball games. You just don't see him around football like you do some other athletic directors in the league.
I would be surprised if Alan Green outlived Brian Harsin at Auburn.
Yeah,
so that would surprise me.
So AD changes sometimes can speed things up. But back to the money thing,
but particularly in this one, because Alan Green was the force behind hiring Harsin. He broke from the family.
Right. He went against what all the power people were saying.
That's right.
Yeah. But on the other side of that, the long history of being unafraid to dump coaches to whom they owe a lot of money, I think they have dumped coaches who they owe a lot of money so much that you almost can't do it again.
Yeah, I'd have to go look at Harsin's buyout. I think it's 75% of the deal. I'm not certain. I'd go look at that, Lance. But they're paying Gus Malzahn 75% of his deal. They've done it a lot. Now, it's funny, you painted them as being patient, which, based on years they're allowed to coach, they are patient. But they're not afraid to pay a chunk of money when that patience dries up.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just going back on, I hate to even say Tuberville, because Tuberville was so up and down. I guess Gus was even up and down. But, it got to a point where after that first year, you kind of knew Gus was going to lose 4 games every year. And that's not where you want to be if you're Auburn football.
That's exactly right. So he says Harsin is the one to watch, but nobody on the hot seat. Is there another coach that you would say maybe in the Southeastern Conference should be a one to watch or should be on the hot seat?
No.
Nobody at all.
I mean, just go through it quickly.
For me, the only one I would throw in that I would even put ahead of Harsin on one to watch is Eli Drinkwitz.
Yeah, I mean, if it went bad for him, yeah, I could see that.
Like bad, we're talking like a 3-9, right?
Yeah, I think it'd have to go pretty bad. But I think a 3-9.
I mean, he way exceeded expectations in year 1. And what did Missouri end up last year? I mean, they were a little disappointing because, Basic coming back,
6-7, lost the bowl game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you expect out of Missouri football.
Well, I mean, Gary Pinkel had them in the SEC championship game, and there are enough people that that's close enough people remember that.
But to me, the East has gotten so much better than it once was. So now Florida took a step back this year, but Florida obviously represented 2 years ago, but Georgia won a national championship. Kentucky has become a force. I shouldn't say a force. They have become a really solid program.
Yeah, very consistent 8, 9, 10 win program.
Tennessee was better this year. South Carolina was much better than everybody expected. Vanderbilt's always going to be Vanderbilt.
Yeah. And then there's Missouri, who I think they may have underachieved a little bit with what was expected with Connor Baszlik back.
I would agree. I guess it kind of balances out because Florida wasn't as good. But Kentucky was maybe a little bit better than some people thought. Tennessee was better than some people thought. South Carolina was much better than people thought. Georgia went from 8 wins to winning a national championship. So the East became more difficult.
Yeah, it did. And I'm not saying he would get fired. I'm just saying he almost seems to be in a more precarious place than Brian Harsin to me.
And by the way, on this hot seat stuff, we have no idea what transpires, because if I would have told you Urban Meyer doesn't make it the entire season at Jacksonville in year 1, you would have given me any kind of odds on that.
I would have, but in the NFL, they're not afraid to fire coaches after 1 year. Now, firing them less than 1 year rarely happens.
I would have been.
I mean, you can go through the history of the NFL, and that's not just a new phenomenon. They'll fire you after 1 year in the NFL.
Yeah, but I think college football, they're not afraid to fire you after 2 now.
After 2 now.
And there's no first-year coaches. That's all I'm saying. I mean, if something completely came off the rails, I mean, Shane Beamer is shining right now with a 7-6. But if Shane Beamer pulled a 1-11,
I don't even know if that would get him.
Yeah.
I really don't. Not at South Carolina. I think they would say, I mean, it's going to be hard for him to go 1-11, first of all.
Clark Lee 0-12.
I don't think that would get him. I mean, Vandy at some point's got to say, we are Vandy.
And we got to ride with our guy.
We can't just keep changing coaches. We got to figure something out.
Clark's our guy right there. Some others around the Adam Rittenberg story. When we come back on the other side, he went through all the Power 5 conferences. And what's always funny about these stories is that it is always painted this time of year of this huge stability in Power 5 conference football. And then we get to the end, and what is it? It's chaos.
It's chaos all the time, yeah.
There's never stability. To have nobody in the SEC on the hot seat, and only Brian Harsin is one to watch, there's a good chance we'll lose 3 coaches.
Yeah, 4 guys got fired during the pandemic.
That's right.
When nobody was making money.
Good chance we'll lose 3 coaches next year. All right, part of the show being brought to you by the Urology Centers of Alabama.
Yeah, they are currently looking for participants for their active clinical trials. With over 3 decades of experience, the UCA Research Department has been dedicated to developing the treatments of urological conditions into the future. Our research team specializes in a variety of urological fields, which allows them to expertly conduct studies on a spectrum of conditions such as prostate cancer, bladder cancer, and urinary tract infections. These study medications go through rigorous lab testing and are offered through leading national pharmaceutical manufacturers. Patients who participate will have access to new forms of treatment, may receive financial compensation, reimbursements for travel expenses, and are likely to receive free medications. In addition, participants are given a specialized level of care due to the number of UCA doctors and staff monitoring the trial process. Clinical research is key to discovering new medications that can lead to groundbreaking treatments. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with prostate cancer, bladder cancer, or a recent urinary tract infection, contact Urology Centers of Alabama to learn if you qualify to take part in their current trials. For more information or to sign up for a study, visit urologycentersalabama.com or call today, 205-930-0920.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
The Next Round is proud to partner with Vulcan Tire and Auto, and we're excited to announce their first-class team and facilities are growing. If you are an experienced general maintenance technician looking for a new opportunity with a great growing company, go by Vulcan Tire. They want to talk to you. Not experienced, but interested in working on cars? Again, go by Vulcan Tire. They have a spot for anyone that has a can-do attitude, wants to work, and enjoys helping people. 4 locations and more to come. Vulcan Tire and Automotive, Moody, Trustful, Hoover, and Gardendale, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
Excalibur Services, now a Train dealer, invites you to join their Total Home Comfort Club. Just like your car, your heating and cooling, electrical and plumbing systems need to be maintained for top performance, safety, and comfort. The Excalibur Home Comfort Club benefits include free consultations, priority scheduling, summer and winter cooling and heating tune-ups, a yearly plumbing and electrical inspection, plus 15% off any repair. Ask about our limited time buy one, get 2 sale. Call us today at 205-718-8688. Excalibur Services, Alabama license number 15214.
Iron Mountain Construction is an industrial services company with over 500 people available for your situation and needs. They are committed to safely supporting the operations of your facility through their execution of quality-driven maintenance services and on-time, on-budget small capital construction work. And they offer support with plumbers, pipe fitters, millwrights, iron workers, laborers, operators, and more. Call the office of Iron Mountain Construction, 205-781-1170 for Jeremy Purvis and Iron Mountain Construction.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
The real estate market is crazier than it's ever been before. I'm Jim Dunaway, and my friends at ERA King have 52 years of experience, over 200 agents, and they're opening new offices right now in Homewood, Vestavia, and Huntsville. ERA King has state-of-the-art offices and the most innovative tools in the business to help you. Text the word MOVE to 35260 to get started. That's the word MOVE, M-O-V-E, to 35260. ERA King Real Estate. growing to serve you.
The Next Round team is getting healthy in 2022. You could join the challenge as we look to lose weight with our friends at Way to Wellness. Plus, you can participate with your office as well and win a grand prize. For more information, go to nextroundlive.com.
The Next Round store is live and loaded. Check out the latest logo t-shirts and hoodies. Get your favorite team colors, the Next Round flag shirt, or grab the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest t-shirts. Go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Okay, guys, here comes Valentine's Day, and you've got to check out Blakely's Bouquets in Homewood. Call Blakely's Bouquets today for your Valentine's order. You'll get $10 off a dozen roses. 205-579-4900. 579-4900. And remember, you don't just send flowers for Valentine's Day or when you're sorry. As Beth Dutton said on Yellowstone, you give them for no reason, buddy. No reason at all. Custom bouquets at Blakely'sBouquets.com. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Back with you. We're talking hot seats and Adam Rittenberg's story at ESPN.com. You guys reacting to Brian Harson's change at Derek Mason at coordinator and the promotion of Jeff Schmedding, another guy who was with him at Boise, to now fill out his coordinator role at Auburn, moving into his second season. No guys on the hot seat in the SEC. Harson's the only guy, according to Rittenberg, to keep an eye on. We'll go through the other Power 5 conferences after Brownie tells us about the great Tom Beckby.
Tom Beckby people were looking for a great-looking outdoor jacket that also was not just functional in the field, but looked great in the city. Couldn't find what they liked. So they made their own starting in 2015. Now they've got an entire line. It is beautiful. It is functional in the field. Looks great in the office, the city, the restaurants, wherever you're going. You can see it for yourself. The Tom Beckby store in Mountain Brook Village or online, tombeckby.com. That is BECKBE, tombeckby.com.
I'll go from calm waters to the chaos, according to Adam Rittenberg, in this upcoming college football season. The Big 12 is calm. Nobody on the hot seat. Only got to keep an eye on in the Big 12?
You know, it seems like Mike Gundy is always there, but he just went to the conference championship, so it can't be him.
Come on.
Big 12. Hold on. Give me one sec, Dunaway. Big 12.
Come on.
Big 12 is going to be...
It's not Sark, is it?
No, it's going to be Neil Brown.
Is it Sark?
It's Sark. Steve Sarkisian. They only got to keep an eye on. Because he's at Texas, and they didn't make a bowl game last year. And if he does that again, Texas isn't going to pay you to go to 2 non-bowl games.
Yeah, no, I get that. I expect a lot more out of Neil Brown this year, though.
Yeah, I mean...
And now his quarterback's left him.
Clock's ticking on Neil Brown at West Virginia, Morgantown. Those people are used to winning, but no mention of Neil Brown, according to Rittenberg. There was more chaos than they expected in the Big 12 last year, right? Lincoln Riley left.
Yep.
Gary Patterson got dumped.
Yep.
That was a surprise.
Yep.
So a little bit more chaos there than you expected. Moving to the Big 10, one guy on the hot seat.
Yeah, it's got to be Scott Frost.
It's Scott Frost at Nebraska.
I mean, would you take he did the Harbaugh. He took a pay cut. By the way, the report on Harbaugh from Dan Graziano, ESPN just now, that he's got an extension on the table from Michigan and has not signed it because he is still actively pursuing Las Vegas. That's Dan Graziano, who covers the NFL, so he's reported that from the NFL point of view.
And if you're following the NFL coaching carousel, you're like, man, there's a lot of openings. Nobody's filling any of these openings because there are 8 teams still playing.
Right.
And those 8 successful teams, there are people on those staffs that will be interviewing and maybe given those jobs when their teams get eliminated. They don't do it like in college, and they'll go ahead and hire Byron Leftwich, the coach of the Jaguars, and he still coaches Tampa Bay. Why he's the Jaguar guy? They wait until the season is over with because they don't have to recruit.
Right. But Scott Frost pulled a Harbaugh. He took less money and said, I'll take less money and I'll prove that I, deserve that money at some point. Well, now he's got to prove that, Lance. He's taking the pay cut. You got to prove you deserve to get it back.
Well, you got two new quarterbacks in Casey Thompson coming in from Texas and Chuba Purdy coming in from Florida State. He's got to get this thing right. I don't know if it happens this year or not. I'll tell you what, if Tom Allen didn't have the year he had 2 years ago, after this past year was a disaster for Tom Allen.
It was, but especially with the expectations coming off the year he'd had the year before. And he gave some money back as well. To the Pac-12, where they have Adam Rittenberg, ESPN, has two guys on the hot seat and one guy to keep an eye on the hot seat.
I mean, Jeff Fish isn't going to be on the hot seat already.
Chip Kelly just did an extension. I think he was on the hot seat.
He's on the keep an eye on list, Chip Kelly.
I mean, Herm Edwards, 8 wins. I expected more this year, but he can't be.
He's number one on the hot seat, Herm Edwards, because
David Shaw should be on the hot seat.
I agree completely with that.
Not mentioned according to Adam Rittenberg. Herm Edwards, Carl Durrell of Colorado, Chip Kelly is keep an eye on.
Brown quickly, David Shaw, his last 5 years.
Not great.
No, it's been awful.
Yeah.
No, I mean, awful. I think 3 of 5 years he's missed a bowl.
Especially when you consider, Lance, where David Shaw had this program, which was, had it been in the playoff era, they would have been a playoff contender. So his first 3 years at Stanford, 11-2, 12-2, 11-3, went 8-5, then 12-2. So 4 of his first 5 years, 11-12 wins, Rose Bowl 3 times, Fiesta Bowl 1 time. That's super successful at Stanford. I mean, that's top 5 coach at Stanford. Starting in 2018, 9-4 Sun Bowl. His last 3 years, 4-8, 4-2, 3-9, 0 bowl games. That is, it's nowhere close to what he was doing early on.
And now to the Conference of Chaos, according to Adam Rittenberg, the other Power 5 conference we haven't mentioned yet, the Atlantic Coast Conference, where on the hot seat going into the year, he puts Florida State's Mike Norvell, Syracuse Dino Babers, Louisville's Scott Satterfield, and Georgia Tech's Jeff Collins. And he says, keep an eye on Mac Brown, that Mac's not going to get fired, but another lackluster year from Carolina, and you can see Mac hang up the whistle for the final time.
Yeah, well, I mean, making staff changes, obviously Gene Chizik is the new defensive coordinator there, so that tells you Mac knows that those things are being discussed. I think I probably agree with all those. I would say of those, the most likely, I don't know. Florida State?
Yeah, I mean, Mike Norvell needs to win.
Yeah.
And for anything to quieten down the Deion Sanders talk.
That's true. With Deion hanging out there, that makes it even worse.
But, is it possible for Florida State to be good again right now?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, what's good right now? Getting to a bowl game, 7 wins, get to 7 wins?
I mean, I say that almost, being somewhat facetious because Wake Forest just won the Atlantic and Pittsburgh just won the Coastal. If I'm a Florida State fan, I'm furious right now.
Well, Mike Norvell,
how far we've fallen off.
Well, a couple things at play here. Number one, Mike Norvell is 8-13. 8-13 at Florida State. 6-10 in conference.
Yeah. And in conference really screams at you with the way that conference has been lately.
New athletics director. Our friend Michael Alford is the new athletics director, so he inherits him. So that's not a guy he hired.
A lot of pressure on Alford with Deion Sanders out there doing what he's doing and being beloved by the Florida State people. I mean, we talk about Kirby's hands being tied at quarterback with Stetson coming back. Really no decision made there. If he decides to get rid of Norvell, I mean, your hands are almost tied at that point with Deion Sanders.
Oh, man.
Boy,
I just remember, I said, look, I don't know a lot. I thought it was a disaster when he was even mentioned for it before, when he wanted the job.
But he's done better at Jackson State than you could have imagined.
No doubt. Luganville came on and said it would be a complete disaster.
He did. But I think he's probably done better at Jackson State than Luganville thought.
Well, and look, and the job he's doing recruiting. I mean, look, if you're a head coach, if you get the right coaches underneath you and you delegate and you recruit, you can have success.
You can.
In the Farmfolio chat room, Jeff says, if Mac leaves North Carolina, do you think Chizik will be the head coach there, moving from the defensive coordinator?
They'd have to have a successful year that Mac retires on, and the defense be through the roof good, maybe.
Jeremy says Norvell does have Florida State trending in the right direction. I mean, they lost to Jacksonville State last year and then won down the stretch. So I guess, yes, is starting to trend in the right direction. Meatbag says Florida State's the problem overall, the school, the atmosphere there.
Well, I can't say 5-7's trending in the right direction.
Yeah, you might have won some games, but you won them to get to 5-7.
Where it was, he won a lot of games before he lost at the end to get there, right? He lost the Florida game, and that ended the season.
Yeah, but I mean, I get what he's saying is you at least finish strong.
Yeah, what bothers me, Brown, is NC State, Wake Forest, Pittsburgh, Virginia, and North Carolina have become better programs in that conference than Florida State.
Since Jimbo Fisher's last season, which was a 7-6, he didn't coach that full season. He didn't coach the bowl game, I think, right? 7-6. That's 2017. Here's what they've done: 7-6, 5-7, 6-7, 3-6, 5-7. I mean, that program is a much prouder program than that.
Jeremy, who is a Florida State alum, Deion is Deion, but I don't know if I'd want prime time on the sidelines. It's all showy right now at Jackson State, but Jackson State ain't Florida State.
Well, I tell you, our buddy Michael offered what he is hoping is that Mike Norvell's 10-2 this year. Yeah. And I don't have to make that decision.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I loved watching Deion as a player. I thought it was fun. I thought everything that came with Deion. But if I'm a Florida State fan, my biggest fear is what's going on right now at Jackson State. It's Deion, and then it seems like it's the program. And when you get to Florida State, the program is above everyone. But I think Deion's going to put himself first.
All those comments over in the Farmfolio chat room. Brown, tell us about the great folks at Farmfolio.
If you are concerned about market volatility, boy, we've had a little bit of that, or inflation, we've had a lot of that. Let Farmfolio show you how your investment can turn into cash-flowing farmland property. See more at farmfolio.net.
NFL playoffs this weekend. You're excited to watch it. You heard earlier John McClain on the show called this the best weekend in the NFL because you've got 4 games, usually uber competitive. I've got 6 guys who need to win this Super Bowl, 6 of them from our friend Bucky Brooks at NFL.com. We'll see if LT and Brownie can write down on their dry erase boards these 6 men who need to win this Super Bowl. That's coming up on the next round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by Excalibur Services. Join our Total Home Comfort Club. Just like your car, your heating and cooling, electrical and plumbing systems need to be maintained for top performance, safety, and comfort. Call 205-718-8688. Excalibur Services. Alabama license number 15214.
Hey, Vulcan here. A century of reaching for the stars has taught me a lot. For one, your arm gets really stiff, but it is cast iron. For two, the stars not only fell on Alabama, they opened a First Bank branch in Homewood with local banking stars and community banking with a 5-star rating. Big banks? First Bank outshines them hands down. Hands down. That would be a relief.
First Bank, now open at 404 Hollywood Boulevard. Member FDIC.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Iron Mountain Construction is an industrial services company with over 500 people available for your situation and needs. They are committed to safely supporting the operations of your facility through their execution of quality-driven maintenance services and on-time, on-budget small capital construction work. And they offer support with plumbers, pipe fitters, millwrights, iron workers, laborers, operators, and more. Call the office of Iron Mountain Construction, 205-781-1170 for Jeremy Purvis and Iron Mountain Construction.
Everybody makes New Year's resolutions. This year, how about a suggestion for the best resolution ever? If you're buying a new home or selling yours, use Holly Mack Wilson. Let a true experienced professional help you. Holly gets her clients' homes sold quickly and usually for more than asking price. Let Holly Mack Wilson help you buy with confidence and sell with success. Make the best resolution ever and call Holly Mack Wilson today. 205-901-9446. That's 205-901-9446. Holly Mack Wilson, a Tuscaloosa Keller Williams agent.
Support the show and grab some great t-shirts and hoodies right now in the Next Round store. Buy the Alabama State Map shirts in your team's favorite colors, the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest, or Next Round flag shirts are also online now. Just go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store. The traditional Next Round logo shirts are there too. Buy them for yourself, or they make a great gift for someone else. And let us know what you'd like to see in the store coming up. Nextround.store. That's nextround.store. Fans of Twin Peaks, make sure you stay up to date by signing up for their e-club. Stay up to date on all things Twin Peaks and score free stuff. Signing up is easy. Just visit twinpeaksrestaurant.com/peaks-club to get started today.
There's nothing I like more than a unique, delicious meal, and that's what you get at Champy's world-famous fried chicken right on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Those great full fried chicken plates, the tenders, the po' boys, but I love the Southern staple chicken on a stick. It's perfect for a tailgate or watching the big game. And then the authentic Mississippi Delta recipe homemade tamales, the best I've ever tasted. See the whole menu or order online at champyschicken.com. For Blues, Brews, and Bird, it's Champy's Chicken, Highway 119, Alabaster.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Penny Hardaway goes crazy. You'll hear from Penny Hardaway in just a second. Get the reaction from the guys of that. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar, Lunsford, and Forrester, all with you halfway through the show this hour. Always brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, ready for the weekend, open for lunch right now. And go by there and get the great Champy's layout for the big games on Saturday and Sunday. Don't forget the games start at 3:30 on Saturday, doubleheader in the NFL, and then 2 o'clock on Sunday. And we'll decide who'll play for the conference championships in 4 games happening this weekend. More on the NFL in just a second. Champy's Chicken bringing you this hour of the show. Auburn basketball getting ready to battle Kentucky in the game of the weekend in the nation. And Bruce Pearl knows that. Here's Bruce talking about what's not only at stake, but who will be watching this weekend.
It's great that on a Saturday in the middle of January, all eyes of the country will be on Auburn, Alabama, on CBS on a Saturday afternoon, and it'll be for men's basketball. That's that's something that you might not have said a few years ago.
Bruce Pearl there talking about that. Bracketology out today. Joe Lunardi, the very latest one, has Auburn as the number 1 overall seed. If the NCAA tournament started today, Alabama a 5 seed, UAB was an at-large team, just barely missing the tournament. Alabama at home to Missouri tomorrow at 5, UAB on the road at Louisiana Tech. In college football, big news this morning. Derek Mason is out as the defensive coordinator at Auburn. Promoting from the staff, Jeff Schmedding now is the DC with Brian Harsin at Boise State. So a couple of former Boise coordinators now in charge of the Auburn offense and defense. Cal gives Justin Wilcox a contract extension, and Jalen Moody has turned around in the portal, according to reports. Not going to Texas after all. The linebacker is staying in Tuscaloosa. A lot more portal moves happening in a little bit. All right, Rockstar, give me Penny Hardaway, cut number 4 here. The story with Memphis is they were a projected preseason top 10 basketball team. Great recruiting the past couple of years. Got a good win against Alabama at home. But that was supposed to be a jump start for Memphis's season. it hasn't really gone that way, and they're now, I think, 9-8 on the year and right below 500 in the American Conference.
3-4 right now in the American.
All right, so they lose last night to a pretty good SMU team, but they didn't play well. SMU gets them last night, and Penny Hardaway does this in the postgame where he got a question about his future.
Penny, have you ever lost faith that you can get this done?
At Memphis?
Yeah. In the first half like that, when it's unfolding, is it embarrassing? And
I think the one thing I can say to this media, because this media gets kind of up sometimes when it comes to me, we don't have our full roster. Y'all know we don't have our full roster. Stop asking me stupid questions about if I feel like I can do something. If I had my roster like they did, then I feel like I can do whatever I want to do. I'm coaching really hard. My boys are playing really hard. I'm not embarrassed about nothing. We have 4 freshmen starting. Y'all need to act like it. Act like we got 17, 18, and 19-year-olds out here trying to learn how to play against 22, 23, and 24-year-old guys. Come on, man. Stop disrespecting me, bro. Like, don't do that. I work too hard. I work way too hard for that. Y'all write all these bull articles about me, and all I do is work. We got young kids on the floor. They got young kids on the floor.
Count to 10, Penny. Count to 10. In that situation, you can't do it. Look, everybody's got young players. Is that an excuse for Calipari? I mean, freshmen make impacts right now. Jabari Smith, what's he doing for the Auburn Tigers? I understand that SMU started 5 seniors. Memphis was a 6.5-point favorite. Penny cost me a winning night last night. I had Memphis minus the 6.5. Look, there's no reason for him to explode to the media. I mean, do you guys see any point here?
Well, I mean, he's frustrated, and oftentimes coaches, when they're frustrated, it leaks over into the post-game press conferences, right? We saw Will Wade the night before do it in Tuscaloosa.
Penny's felt more authentic, though.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I thought so.
Penny seemed more real. It's not going as easy or as it's not happening as fast as people thought it was going to happen for a guy who was uber successful on the AAU ranks. He was always successful as a professional player, and you just thought with him getting the talent he is getting at Memphis that they were going to be a top 10 team. But I think what we all learn is that you can put – I mean, Chris Beard is learning this right now at Texas. He has a good team. Shaka Smart left him a good team core that they didn't lose anything from last year. And he added 4 great transfers at Texas. And they're now out of the top 25, and they started the season at number 5. Chris Beard has more talent at Texas than almost anybody in the Big 12 not named Baylor and Kansas, and they're losing because just because you got the best talent doesn't mean they play together as a team.
No, but I've got confidence that Chris Beard will get this thing right. Chris Beard can coach. Penny Hardaway, I don't know. And sadly for Penny Hardaway, as good as he was, and we all saw him in the NBA, and he played in the finals, and obviously that was just a great combination with him and Shaq and a really fun team with Nick Anderson and Dennis Scott. And he was a great player, but he just always had those bad breaks. Bad luck for Penny with the injuries. And then he goes out and gets James Wiseman, a guy that was going to dominate, that only played 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, NCAA kept him from playing.
And then he was out, and now you're missing 2 starters because of injury, and it just hasn't come together, and you wonder if Penny is just hexed.
Yeah, or, how long, when you've got all the money that Penny Hardaway has, how long do you do this? Because it's hard work. That's what we said about Deion Sanders when he went to Jackson State. Like, when you're wealthy, you're not doing this for a living. You're doing this because you love it. He's doing this because he loves it. Penny Hardaway doesn't need to work.
No, right. Eddie George is at Tennessee State right now.
He's doing it because he loves it.
Eddie George does not need the money.
Wants to give back.
And
right.
even before Calipari had success and should have won a national championship with Memphis and went to those, 4 straight Elite Eights or whatever it was. Memphis State was a really good basketball program, and Penny won the NIT. I don't think anybody even remembers they won in the NIT last year. I mean, this is just not where he wants to be in life, I wouldn't think.
Yeah, but you can understand.
I get the frustration.
You
can't really take it out on the media. I do like the fact that Memphis media is playing New York media. Those are like direct, hard questions that you typically wouldn't hear asked.
There is a big difference. I explained this to somebody one time. Where was this was an Auburn fan, and he was listening to a press conference. He's like, man, they are going after so-and-so. And I was like, difference in a pro town and a college town. It's the way, it's just a different atmosphere. And the media in a pro town operates way differently than the media in a college town.
And don't get lost in the fact that the same fan base who goes to the Memphis games also go to the Grizzlies games.
That's right.
And the Grizzlies are one of the best stories in the NBA right now with Ja Morant. They're winning basketball games. So you got win, not meeting expectations. So it is very natural for the media and even for what we do for a living to talk about the controversy more than the success. I mean, that always the controversial headlines are always bigger than the successful headlines. And so you're gonna get a lot more Memphis press now about them losing because the Grizzlies are winning. They can't pile on the Grizzlies, so we're gonna pile on the Memphis Tigers. You know, the question about being embarrassed is, I think, what set him off. That's what would have set me off. You're questioning me whether or not I think I can get the job done. That's fine. But when you say embarrassed, well, now that's different. I'm not embarrassed about anything we do.
Oh, I would have.
I'm out here. We're busting our what. I'm not embarrassed about an effort. We're losing, but that doesn't embarrass me because we're in the arena and fighting. That doesn't embarrass me. We're going to lose sometimes. If you fight, you're going to lose. That doesn't embarrass me. That's what would have sent me over the edge.
Interesting.
Yeah. Don't ask me if I'm embarrassed. Hell no, I'm not embarrassed. I'm out here working.
No, I get that, and that would upset me a little bit too if I'm Penny, because I'm sure he is working his ass off. But it's like all of this pent-up aggression, Brown, and he points to articles that you guys have written in the past, and it's like Penny's paying way too much attention to what Memphis media is saying.
Absolutely. All of that was way over the line. Absolutely. I mean, that's frustration coming out. But don't ask me if I'm embarrassed. No, I mean, I'm not embarrassed that my kids are going to get out there and fight hard. We're down 2 guys and we're still laying it on the line. We lose.
Well, it's a
we're
fair
gonna lose
question,
some
though.
games.
It's a fair question.
I
think it is.
Embarrassed?
Yeah. You're 500. Are you embarrassed by that? That's not a fair question to you?
I don't think so. I mean, it was
disappointed is a little bit.
Disappointed. Embarrassed is I'm
embarrassed.
embarrassed.
Is kind of a strong word.
I'm not embarrassed of my guys.
Well, I don't know that. That's why I'm asking you. Are you embarrassed?
No, I think that's
it's like saying, are you attracted to your guys?
I mean,
I don't know.
Brian Harsin, they were 6 and 7. He's disappointed he was 6 and 7. He wasn't embarrassed.
I don't know that he was. You don't think he was embarrassed by going 6 and 7?
I don't think so at all. I don't think you're embarrassed when you're fighting with your guys.
I don't know. That doesn't really bother me. I mean, I think it's embarrassing to be 500.
Penny Hardaway, what do you think?
Little Penny.
Blue chips.
No, I think of that great Orlando Magic team.
I really think a Little Penny.
I think a Little Penny.
As good as he was, and that Magic team was great. I mean, they almost won a championship.
Yeah.
Losing to Back to the Dream, who will be coming up in 3.5.
A very important question from Jeff B in the Farmfolio chat room. Little Penny versus Little Sweet in a wrestling match. Who you taking?
Little Penny had an edge. Little Sweet wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
Little Sweet's just about making people happy and getting them to drink Dr. Pepper.
Little Sweet's.
All I want you to do is be happy and drink happy.
Little Sweet's bigger than Little Penny, though.
He is. But again,
yes, he is.
Not.
Dunaway, he
Pull
absolutely
up Little Penny.
is.
Little Penny's.
I think Little Sweet's about a foot tall. That's close.
I think Little Pete's bigger than Little Swinny.
No,
God, screwed that way up.
No, Little Penny is bigger than Little Sweet. Little Penny's 2.5.
No, I don't think he was.
Little Penny was the size of a shoe.
The best was when he took over the house party, and he was on the raft.
Right.
Whose house was that, by the way?
I don't remember that.
I mean, look
Was
how
it
big Little
Spike
Penny
Lee's
is.
house?
Little
Little Penny's bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah, thank you, Brown.
Yep, bigger than I thought he was.
You're right.
He's about the size of Little Sweet.
No, Little Sweet smaller than that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know how big a Little Sweet is.
Yeah, I would tell you Little Penny,
Little
though.
Sweet's got no functionality in those pants, though.
What do you mean by that, Lance?
Well, his damn pants are as tight as can be.
All right, Little Sweet, that's a can he's holding, a can of Diet Dr. Pepper.
And how big is a can of Dr. Pepper?
Well, it's about like that, and he's holding it in his hand. He's bigger than you think.
No, look how big that can is.
Would you say Little
Can's
Sweet's
huge.
flamboyant?
Yeah, I would say he's flamboyant. He's got purple hair and a headband.
He looks like he's going to break out and start singing
Love
the
his
sound.
glove. How about that bracket challenge? Somebody's got to dress as Little Sweet for a week.
Lace. It's a lace glove.
It is.
He looks like he's about to break out and sing the soundtrack to Armageddon.
Oh,
Don't want to close my eyes.
Aerosmith song.
You think he's got some Steven Tyler in him?
A little bit. Dunaway's right.
I think that's who he's based off of.
Hey, so when we talk about American Idol, he wasn't even the winner. He was first season when Kelly Clarkson won it.
That guy was Justin Guarini?
Yeah. So,
I didn't know that.
Oh, was he really?
He came in second. Remember, they came the movie from Justin to Kelly right after.
I didn't know he was a real singer.
Say,
I knew he was. I just didn't know it was all the way back to year one.
Do you think he's a top 10 most successful? I mean, you would have to put Taylor and Chris Daughtry in there, and then obviously Carrie
Kelly
Underwood.
Clarkson, Carrie Underwood.
Carrie Clarkson.
But I think Lil Sweet's got to be up there. All these other people disappeared.
Did you go Daughtry?
Yeah.
Okay, he's in there. The Sparks girl.
Jordan Sparks.
Jordan Sparks. She still sings national anthem once a year at the Cardinals games. She does.
But I think Lil Sweet's more impressive than doing 4 or 5 national anthms.
Yes.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She's
Broadway?
No, there's one that's made it really big in Christian music.
Yeah, that's her too, and one in Broadway.
Mandisa.
Yeah,
I think she's real big on the Christian circuit.
I haven't heard that name.
Yep.
You've never heard of Mandisa? She was in it.
Yep.
And did she win it?
She may have.
That does not look like Lil Sweet.
So that's
though.
Lil Sweet with Kelly Clarkson right there?
Sure is.
I think that's on their publicity tour from Justin to Kelly. So that's
he's changed a lot.
He's got J.D. Davidson's hair.
He shrunk.
Yeah.
or Kelly just got bigger.
Oh, wow.
I know. She was drinking Dr. Pepper.
Tap it.
So
I get confused of who won and who didn't win because you didn't have to win to be successful.
No,
really.
that's right. That's right.
But you could win and not be successful.
That is absolutely right.
And you're the girl that lost, that had good feet, that lost to Taylor Hicks.
She didn't have good
feet. Oh,
she did.
What's her
Catherine
name?
McPhee.
Yeah, Catherine
She's
McPhee.
definitely top 10 because she
Or
did
is that called her? Or is that called her Catherine McFeet?
You're gonna be shocked by this. I think you gauge really bad movies. Our friend C. Stu from Gutter Cap gauges really bad TV shows. Like he watches some of the worst.
So if he watches
TV.
it must be bad, is what you're
So
saying.
he watches a show called Scorpion that she was on.
That's right.
CBS.
That's right. But she's a successful actress.
Oh, Catherine McPhee went into acting?
Oh, I would say she's an actress.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what she plays on Scorpion. I don't even know what Scorpion's about. But she
It's a
married some like
detective show.
old rich dude.
She did. And we're about to see it as he Googles it, and did a very nice bikini layout here recently.
Catherine McPhee did, huh?
I love how Dunaway, you are dialed in on all these photo shoots.
If it involves a bikini.
I have to do a lot of Google images
There it
for my
is.
job. I'm not sure that's the photo shoot I'm talking about, but that is her
Man,
in
her
bikini.
ass has got an itch on that grass, unless that's natural turf.
That's turf. You can tell that's fake.
Okay.
It's not the only thing faking that shot, Rockstar. The grass.
Hey-oh.
You don't think she's blown anything non-contact, has she?
Like an ACL? Is that
I'm
what you're
talking about the
referencing? Yes.
non-contact going back to our
That's
conversation
Catherine
history.
McPhee. Is that recent right there? God, she's held up pretty well.
I like how it says it's an MDD bra, which is a brand of bras designed for D+ women. Oh, my.
Very
wow.
natural photo there, too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I like to put
I was just walking up the steps and you took a damn picture.
Caught me. You surprised.
in my bra and sweatpants.
Yeah, who walks around bra and sweatpants?
Not me, Jim.
Sue Ellen Mishke.
Obviously, runners up from American Idol, right?
She's been very successful, though.
No, she has. She
Yeah.
would definitely be. She's a top fiver, but I'm just saying top 10, I think Lil Sweet's got to be at least on the cusp.
Well, only because of the Little Sweet campaign.
That's
though.
the only
That's the
reason.
only thing keeping him there.
Yeah, but see, that gets us almost to 10, so he's hard fighting into the top 10
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody else. Like the David Cook guy that won. He did like one song.
Well, wait, Philip is an
He did
American.
one song. I
He
think.
did that
home song.
home song.
He owns Coffee House. If you ever listen to Coffee House on Sirius XM, he's on every other song.
We played a show with him 2 years ago. He is a super duper nice guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but and I didn't know who it was until he started singing. Like for sound check, he was doing "Sa-da-da!" I was like,
Yeah.
"That's that guy."
Is that Lion King?
Yeah. No, you're not alone.
So he was a really nice guy, though,
Yeah.
huh?
So how much older is the dude, the McPhee? Can you figure that out?
Oh, I can tell you right now, just looking at that picture, top left.
I'd say 31 years. Is that fair?
I'm going to say 31's a great guess. I can't do better than 31. 31's a great guess.
72 to 37.
That's going to get you to
35.
68. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
72 to 37. What does she see in him?
Dollar signs.
Yeah, when he asked for that first date, she was like,
Look at those feet.
I can't. Are those good feet?
Those aren't bad feet.
Those go
They
back
just
to
look long.
No, I
They look
remember
extremely long.
Dunaway and I were doing a show together. I think when Taylor did this, right? And yeah, absolutely we were.
She did the song
Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and she was sitting on the stage.
Nope.
By the way,
She was sitting on the stage. She
she's
wasn't somewhere in the
car-free.
rainbow.
Oh, I think it
in that
was
bikini shot.
flowing dress and no shoes on, and you loved it.
Yeah, it was all of that, except the song was something about something in a cherry tree, Black Stallion, Black
yeah, no,
Horse.
that's that Katie Tunstall song.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember when she was like beating a drum. I can't believe I remember that. I also remember
And she
Terry
had no
Henley was
shoes
in the
on.
studio when that was going on, and he said that she had cankles.
Oh my
He
gosh,
did not.
fighting
You
words.
tell him to shut up.
Yeah.
Do you remember that,
not.
Rocky?
I don't. But this picture is he's doing the hover hand. Hover hand is when you're with a.
Well, it's because she said, "Don't touch my ass in public."
What teacher? When you're with like a good-looking girl, and you're a guy, and you kind of put your hand. You don't want to touch it.
Right.
It's like hover hand. 'Cause I don't know how to do this.
Yeah. She said, "I'll marry you, but you cannot touch me," is what she said in that picture.
That's fine.
And he was like, I am all in.
All right. So Penny Hardaway blew up last night. Memphis is 9-8.
That's a pretty good land for that dude, though.
You think?
Regardless of his money, yeah.
Yeah. All right. We continue on with part of the show being brought to you by the great folks at Nichols Outfitters.
Hey, Jimmy D, if you were looking for the top firearm showroom in the state, or you're looking for the best bow technical team anywhere, you're going to find it at Nichols Outfitters. They've got the inventory and the expertise to get you just what you're looking for this hunting season. Exit 242 in Pelham or online, nicholsoutfitters.com.
Rockstar, give me cut number 8 since we're talking about coaches blowing up. Brown got a big kick out of this last night on social media. It's not hard to make Brown laugh when he's tired, he's in a funny mood.
I think y'all are going to like this.
LT, you got to pay attention to this. Will Wade is a meme now with his blow up in Tuscaloosa. Hit it, Rockstar.
You think it looked like that, Ron? You think? Yeah. It was pinned on the backboard. It didn't look like it. It was.
And just the way your team responded after the technical.
I told our guys, I got the technical because I got to have their back. We can't keep having this happen. At some point, I got to stand up and have their back. And so I had their back, and those guys had my back. Come back fighting like that. That's what it's about. The coach, you have your kids' back, and the kids have your back, or men have our back. That's what it's about. I'm proud as hell of them. I got to stand up for them. We can't just sit down and keep taking.
I love how the guy
Hey,
keeps
that's my man Chan that drops our bourbon off.
It is. I love how they had to make him go back and forth because Will Wade was rocking. That's the only way it was going to work. That was so funny.
When he turned his face.
That was so funny. I saw Forrester tweet that out. I laughed out loud when I looked at it.
Good stuff there. All right. We had to break here. LT's got trash coming up on the other side. And always remember, this hour of the show is being brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. Finally finished off the tamales. Sterling brought so many tamales. I took a bunch of them home, finished some off for dinner last night. Loved them. Mississippi Delta recipe. The poor boys, the chicken tenders, and all the great food. Check it out. champy'schicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Hey, it's Jim Dunaway from The Next Round. You know the best thing I ever did for myself? I visited Way to Wellness. I just feel better when I have my weight gain under control. They helped me lose 45 pounds back in 2020. That lowered my blood pressure and gave me my life back. Everything is designed for you, and there are no contracts and no sign-up fees. And you even get a free consultation. The website is aplanforme.com or call 205-994-2393. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations, but we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about our friends at Farmfolio. If you're concerned about market volatility or inflation, Farmfolio can help you diversify your portfolio into cash-flowing farmland property. We all know about rental real estate. Cash flow and appreciation are the name of the game. With Farmfolio's productive farmland lots, your trees act as the tenants, and they pay you in fruit, which is sold by Farmfolio's international sales team to the likes of Walmart and Costco, ultimately generating cash flow for you. As your cash flow increases, your property value also increases. Just like tenant-occupied real estate, the best part is you don't have to be a farmer. You own, they farm, and you earn. This is the way it works at Farmfolio. For more information, you can go online, check everything out today. Go to farmfolio.net. That's farmfolio.net. Check it out today. If you're concerned about that market volatility or inflation, Farmfolio is your best friend. Go online today, farmfolio.net.
Hello, Vulcan here. Can we talk? Sure, I'm the biggest thing in Birmingham, being 56 feet tall, but big isn't always better. It's what you're big on. Like the great community banking at First Bank's new financial center in Homewood. Their reputation for customer service towers. Bank where you stand tall, without birds perching on your head. No, they're building a nest.
First Bank, now open at 404 Hollywood Boulevard. Member FDIC.
Why is Culver such a treat for so many families? Here's a hint. This treat is thick and creamy, and everyone can get it any way they like. Our fresh, frozen custard. We craft it in small batches throughout the day to make our guests stay. Shakes, cones, sundaes, concrete mixers, flavor of the day, oh, and the toppings.
Who says you can't please everyone? There's more than one way to dessert at Culver's. Welcome to Delicious.
Vulcan Tire and Automotive is hiring. If you want to take advantage of joining in with a local growing company in the automotive service industry, this is the opportunity for you. Hiring oil and tire technicians and more experienced mechanics. If you've got the talent and the desire, there is a spot for you at Vulcan Tire and Auto. Stop by one of their 4 locations and the manager on site can walk you through the pay scale, great benefits, and flexible work schedule. Get paid to build your future in the industry. Moody, Trustful, Hoover, and Gardendale, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
When it comes to choosing a dentist, 2 things are critical: trust and comfort. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. It's why I tell you about Stone Creek Dental Care. Dentist owned and operated, and Stone Creek Dental Care is the Southeast premier provider of comprehensive dental care with more than 20 locations, including Birmingham, Chattanooga, Huntsville, Trussville, and Montgomery. Stone Creek Dental Care is able to provide a level of quality care you will not find anywhere else. From your basic cleaning to restorative dentistry, cosmetics, and endodontics, Stone Creek Dental Care covers a wide and comprehensive range of dental services for patients of any age. Stone Creek Dental Care's mission is to provide the highest quality dental care to every single patient in an environment that exemplifies the highest ethical, personal, compassionate, and professional standards, and to provide the best patient experience possible. Stone Creek Dental Care is currently accepting new patients at all locations, and new patients get a free Chick-fil-A gift card at your first appointment. So visit StoneCreekDentalCare.com to find a location nearest you. StoneCreekDentalCare.com.
Matt Jones, Kentucky Sports Radio, scheduled to be with us at the top of the hour. Brown asked Jim, why do you say scheduled to be with us?
Why do you say scheduled, Jim?
Top of the hour, because he's been with us before, got a little heated in places, and if I wanted to screw us over, I'd say I'd be on the show and then not show up.
I'd be pretty immature.
I still don't understand how that became such a big deal.
I don't either.
I asked one what was a legitimate question about a Joey Gatewood not playing well. I think the response was, that's stupid, or I forgot exactly what it was, but you guys helped me out.
Well, he thought it was a dumb question because he said
it's not very fair to Joey.
He played bad against Alabama. If you want to judge him against Alabama, go right ahead or something like that. You got real defensive about it.
Joey obviously couldn't beat out Will Levis or anybody else at Kentucky, but I was wrong. So anyway, it just got blown out of proportion.
And then I asked, are you embarrassed by your answer? And that's where we crazy.
He called you an MF-er.
Precision Sports brings us this NFL injury update. Nick Bosa questionable for the game tomorrow night. San Francisco and Green Bay. Hard to imagine concussion would keep him out, but he's listed on the official report as questionable.
Well, I heard it's better. And Fournette, I wanted to ask you about this. They said he's still not up to full speed. They want to finally test it today. If he's at full speed today, he's a go for Sunday. I assume Fournette's going to be in that lineup, but they still say that
they're testing
the hamstring's
Fournette.
Still giving him problems.
They're testing Fournette and Wirfs today, and both of them are questionable, but the official report doesn't come out for the Sunday games until today. Green Bay, Valdez-Scantling, doubtful, may not play for Green Bay, and that's a big loss for the Packers.
No, it is, because, there's so much emphasis on Devontae Adams, and I saw a stat this morning, even, whenever he's targeted, he catches 70% of his targets. But still, you've got to have those other options. I think against San Francisco, I think Aaron Jones, guys like that, they've got to have big games.
So Bengals and Titans tomorrow at 3:30 on CBS. Packers hosting the 49ers 7:15 tomorrow night. On Sunday is when the Rams and the Bucs, so the important Friday practice for them, normal week for them. 2 o'clock on NBC, 5:30 CBS for the Bills and the Chiefs. That's a Precision Sports injury update.
Hey, affiliated with Brookwood Baptist Health, Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 9 convenient locations in central Alabama, including the return of hand surgeon Dr. Joseph Sherrill. Your injury cannot wait any longer. We are rebuilding champions on and off the field. So make that appointment today. Call 855-219-6200 or visit precisionsportsortho.com.
The great Tyler over in Tuscaloosa. Little Sweet has some sugar in the tank. He ain't beating Little Penny in a fight, though.
I think, is Justin... I mean, a little sweet maybe, but I think Justin likes the girls, right?
I think so.
Okay. I don't know.
His Little Sweet, probably not.
Yeah. Little
Just 'cause he
Sweet.
sings high.
Sweet. That's a good way to. He does have some sugar in the tank.
I assumed he was talking about the soda, Dr. Pepper, putting a little sugar in his tank. Wade says the TNR guys debating Little Penny versus Little Sweet is tremendous. Jerry says only TNR can turn a profanity-laced tirade from a basketball coach into a bikini shoot from an American Idol runner-up. That's why we love the show. Jerry, thank you so much for getting the show, and thank you, Rockstar, for hitting the big button for trash with LT.
They let me look at the lawyer's building. I know the vacuum cleaner man. He's seen my tits. I know that's not going on TV, but it's true. It's true. I'm not here to lie to you.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
So dudes used to sell vacuums door to door. Baumhauer's dad, Bob Baumhauer's late father, was a guy that actually sold vacuums door to door. When she says that in that, the vacuum guy, does she mean the guy that actually...
I think she means the janitor.
Okay.
So
is she a teacher?
No, she was doing an interview there was a fire or something like that. She says, I went 37 blocks, they had it blocked off, but I wanted to see the building because it was on fire. I know the vacuum guy. And then she just says that thing, and the reporter starts laughing, and she's like, well, no, I'm not here to lie to you.
Yeah.
I know it's not going to make TV.
No, he really
I just want to be honest.
Yeah.
Hey, new year, new opportunities. If you're looking to start a big project, consolidate some debt, or free up funds, a cash out refinance can get you what you need, and Mortgage Right is there to make the refinancing process a breeze. If you're ready to start the new year with more cash in your pocket, then head on over to mortgageright.com/TNR. We start first in Vegas. Broken window led a homeowner to find a stranger taking a bath in an upstairs bathroom of his house, according to Las Vegas police. Now, police arrested Tasman James, 30, on a charge of unlawful occupancy of real property. Now, the incident happened at a home near Rancho and Vegas Drives on December 20th. The homeowner noticed the security camera at his home, which is being renovated, went out. The person then noticed a broken window at his home and soon found James taking a bath. Officers responded, finding James in the bathroom. James reportedly told police she inherited the house, but the actual homeowner provided paperwork showing he was the rightful owner. A judge released James without bail with the stipulation she must stay away from the house.
But think about this. So, guy, you catch somebody in your bathtub, you call the police. They're still in the bathtub when the police get there.
That is accurate, yeah.
She's still in the bathtub.
Well, what are you going to do, drag her
That's
out of
what,
it?
10 minutes at least?
No, you let it go. Well, I mean, first of all, to break in a residence, I would think I'd be a little shaky, head on swivel. To have the comfort to go take a bath to begin with, and then once the homeowner discovers you, to have the comfort to stay in the bath and prune up.
I'm not getting out.
I'll wait for the police.
I'm going to tell you, she probably doesn't look like Julia Roberts taking a bath in Pretty Woman.
You don't think she has a leg kicked up shaving it?
Yeah. and bubbles and listening to her Walkman with those pouty lips and eyes and her hair put up
like
in a
Seth
bun.
Rogen and 40-Year-Old Virgin. He wants to climb in the tub with Elizabeth Banks.
Because if she looked like that, you know who wouldn't call the police? The homeowner.
That's right.
He'd be like,
he'd at least ask a few questions first, right?
Can I get you some champagne and strawberries?
We're just getting started here. We've got an Ohio man was arrested after he stole a vehicle with a man sleeping in the back seat. Now, police from Tiffin, Ohio say Justin Vaughn stole a white Audi with a passenger hostage sleeping in the back seat. The man in the back seat apparently awoke, started texting police updates of what was happening during the alleged theft.
I broke into his car, fell asleep, and they stole the car.
Police say they were able to perform a slow-speed vehicle termination maneuver to end the pursuit.
That sounds very serious.
I think that's just when they bump you and kind of box you in.
Yeah. The old slow-speed vehicle termination maneuver.
Vaughn was taken into custody, charged with felony robbery, kidnapping, theft of a motor vehicle, and fleeing and eluding police.
I wrote it down, Brown. We're going to do an SSVTM.
We think you need to do the slow-speed vehicle termination maneuver.
The old SSVTM.
Yeah, repeat that, please, headquarters.
SSVTM there, Niner.
Niner.
Female traders in Uganda are not going to be allowed to sit in the driver's cabin in a bid to mitigate road accidents. Do you guys want to guess why female passengers will not be allowed to sit in the driver's cabin?
Because the hands are not on the gear shift.
Wow.
When I'm a passenger, my hand's always on the gear shift.
The authorities claim women were partly responsible for accidents that have been occurring. Now, according to the Monitor, the decision was made following a road accident that killed 9 people back on January 10th. Ooh. Although police said the accident was likely caused by reckless driving and overloading, they also faulted businesswomen. Now, the women are accused of distracting truck drivers because they allegedly wear short and revealing skirts and shorts.
Ah, they were dressing skimpy.
Yeah, the authorities said it is a common trend among the women in the region, making them a, quote, major road hazard.
But if they're in the car,
that's what I don't
can't
get.
see their skirt.
That's right.
That's because they picked them up, Rockstar, and things are happening, and that's why the accidents are happening.
Things are happening.
Yep.
Oh, like they're picking them up to go work, like do landscaping and stuff.
So are you going lot lizard here?
That's what I'm thinking is happening here, LT. Let's drive around the block.
We have got Oscar Mayer is debuting.
Good transition to the Wiener Mobile.
Yeah. A bologna beauty mask.
Oh, okay. I could see this.
Do you guys like bologna?
I love bologna. I really do.
Yeah.
It is a guilty pleasure. I don't eat a lot of it.
Wow.
Well,
I wouldn't put it on my face like that.
I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Now, really, if she looks good enough, would you pull that off her face and go ahead and put mustard and mayonnaise on the sandwich?
On the
and eat it?
sandwich?
I
Yeah.
know you would.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Catherine.
You warmed it up. I
I always wondered who would buy the edible things at Spencer's.
Yeah.
Done away in the 80s.
Did you see the warning?
What?
Do not eat bologna masks.
Yeah.
Well,
See that away? They cut you.
Because it's not real
they beat you to
bologna.
the
It
chip.
just looks like it, right? It's
I'm
some kind of.
guessing,
I think
yeah.
it's just to say.
What about in a pinch, though?
At a pinch, I might fire it up in the microwave, put a little cheese on it.
How do you guys like your bologna?
That way. I like it microwaved with cheese on it.
I've never
Old
tried it in
school.
the microwave. It's interesting.
All right, so
I
here's what
always
you do.
used to fry mine.
Here's what
or just go cold.
Here's what my mom and dad used to do. All right, so they would cut slits at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Put a little piece of cheese on it, Lance. Throw it in the microwave, and it kind of bowls up in the microwave, and that cheese melts down on it. And then, if you want to put any sort of condiments or anything, you put it right there in the bowl. 2 slices of white bread, you're good to go.
Sounds pretty good. I'm a big fan.
You do the same thing in the skillet, though, right?
You can,
same
yeah.
slits
It's just
and-
so much easier in the microwave. Yep.
You don't get the browning, though.
Huh?
You don't get the browning of the
I
skillet.
didn't really want that.
I like the browning.
So back to the story. The American meat company Oscar Mayer dipping its toes into the beauty world. Best known for its cold cuts and hot dogs, Oscar Mayer is now unveiling face mask, which, par for its brand, resembles slices of bologna, as we just saw.
Yeah.
The
I don't think the packaging should
press
look
release,
so much like
it
the
should.
bologna.
Yeah, I'm with Jim on this.
I
yeah.
mean, I could see where I could get confused.
Right.
Oscar
I don't think they
Mayer,
put it in the meat
quote,
section.
has a legacy bringing levity to things that have gotten too serious, and beauty is a ripe territory to playfully subvert. This, according to the senior marketing analyst.
I mean, we really do at spas in movies. They always have cucumbers
That's
over their
right.
eyes for some reason. So you got a whole deli plate going at this point, a charcuterie board.
I knew it was coming.
He was working his way to it. He had to make sure he
Does
had
he
it.
overpronounce that?
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie. You know who's a good charcuterie? Shackelford.
But charcuterie is one of those words that I have to get a running start
I
for you, so
noticed.
you see me working my way
Yep,
to that,
yep.
right?
It's like Jim's doing,
Charcuterie board.
it's like Jim's doing that long jump where he jumps. You jump 3 times, right?
We'll jump.
Huh?
It's called the triple
Triple
jump.
jump. Thank you. Well, I don't watch the Olympics.
Neither does ESPN this year, by the way. Did you see that? They're not sending any reporters to the Winter Olympic Games.
I hate that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch it either way, so I don't really care. But that does seem weird.
So all of a sudden, they're not sending anybody to the Australian Open or
Yeah.
to the Winter
You
Olympics.
think they might be saving $1 or $2 on this?
There's somebody back in accounting up in Bristol going, cha-ching.
That's right.
Cha-ching.
Blame it on COVID.
So I just came across this. Former FBI agent has reportedly confirmed Britney Spears' claim that her dad spied on her before he was removed from her conservator. Allegations she made during her struggle to end the relationship. They said that he was spying on her in her own bedroom. How creepy is that?
Yeah, there were some issues in that family.
Like
some deep issues in that family.
We've got daughters. Daughters' doors closed.
Oh, yeah, I knocked first.
You knocked first.
Yeah.
I've got a son, and I really knock first there.
Knock hard.
In fact, I never go in there. I'm like, hey, you want to come on out for dinner?
Don't open the door.
I'm vacuuming again.
Okay, I got the most beautiful women of the 1990s according to Ranker.com. I got the top 10 list. Do not agree with number 1.
We'll build up to one Lance doesn't agree with.
Number 10 is Halle Berry.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
What was Halle's peak?
Oh, it wasn't Swordfish, was it?
I think it might have been Swordfish.
And then she was in Casino Royale, wasn't she? There?
Yeah.
Beautiful woman. Yep.
She was, I'll tell you what, the first time that I found her like striking, I was like, who is that? It was Boomerang.
Yeah, I remember that with Eddie Murphy.
Which one was she coming out of the water in?
You're thinking of Swordfish, yes.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
Or that could have been the Bond.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
Die Another Day, I've been told. I was wrong.
Yeah.
It was the last Pierce Brosnan one.
Number 9 on the list, Jennifer Aniston. I know you're going to think that's too low.
What is this list?
This is the most beautiful women of the 1990s, according to Ranker.com.
People who have called Dunaway and have not gotten a text back.
True. Our friend Senna's going to be on this list, too. 9, Jennifer Aniston, way too low.
Number 8 on the list is Faith Hill.
Yeah.
In the 90s, she was strong.
Yes, sir.
Never did it
no
for me.
doubt.
Never did it for me.
Really?
Never did it for me, no.
Wow.
Number 7, way too low for me, Elizabeth Hurley.
Yeah.
Oh, in the 90s, legit.
The reason I put this, I think it was the top 2 is the reason I put this on there.
Oh, that Lance will disagree with him?
We're missing great pictures opportunity. Back to the Google Images, my favorite part of the show.
Rockstar's going to be working to death right
if
now.
If you're on the audio app, listen, you miss all of this. You got to stream us on YouTube, like and subscribe, Twitch, Facebook, Twitter. Video portions of the show, we greatly encourage you.
If nothing else, go back and look at them later and see what you miss.
Number 6 on this list, she is.
Wait, Elizabeth Hurley first from
Okay,
the 90s.
yeah.
I mean, Elizabeth Hurley in the 90s.
Well, the problem is you're going to get all current, which, Elizabeth's
I don't
held
know
up
if
well.
you'll get all current.
Yeah.
She has held up well.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
There we go.
All right.
Fantastic.
She's got a lot of bikinis.
Yeah, she does. She's not afraid to chase swimsuits.
Does she ever wear clothes? No, she was very good.
Who's her buddy in that picture?
What was her best? What was her best role?
I don't really think she had any good roles.
She was in Austin Powers, and she was in Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser.
She looked really good.
Didn't she play the devil?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of who else she was in.
She looked really good in Austin Powers.
Yeah, she was one of his love interests there. Like the Bond girl.
Yeah.
I mean, something about her accent, too. I mean, she just... It all worked really well together. Number 6 on this list, batshit crazy, but Denise Richards. But in her heyday in Wild Things, I thought she was strong.
Never did it for me.
Really?
Yeah, that's not my kind of...
Don't tell me you like Nev Campbell more.
I did like Nev Campbell more.
How could you like Nev Campbell more than Denise
Because she had a
Richards?
personality.
Denise had a personality. It was just when she'd throw a plate at you.
Yeah.
I mean, she married Charlie Sheen. That probably tells you all you need to know, right?
Never thought she was attractive.
Look at that one in the blue background, Rocky, right there top. You don't tell me that's strong.
No. I mean, there's 1,000 women within Birmingham city limits of this.
You've done this before.
Yeah,
now, that's
it is.
old Denise Richards, too.
That is. And she
Again.
she looks better now than she did when she was 21.
That's not true.
Yes. Not my style.
How many times did you pause Wild Things?
I did for Nev Campbell.
Well, there's a big part with Kevin Bacon, too.
Nev Campbell.
He's getting out of that shower. There it is.
By the way, I'm just going to break your heart here. Nev Campbell is not on the list. Number 5,
1990 Steffi Graf?
Penelope Cruz, who in Blow, by the way, was probably at her peak. That or Vanilla Sky.
Vanilla Sky.
But, she was always compared to Salma Hayek. I know because they were,
So it's like the white possession receiver, and we find two people from the same.
Penelope was better looking than Salma Hayek.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, she's exotic.
That picture from old.
And I think she was small.
Really?
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, you could fit her in a Miata. Number 4 on the list, Shania Twain.
Never did it for me.
You didn't like these country music singers, Faith Hill and Shania Twain. You've both shot down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dunaway's very picky, Brown.
Clearly.
Number 3 on the list, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Was good looking, but does not deserve to be this high.
I would flip Jennifer Aniston and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yeah, I think I might agree with that.
But I did like Party of Five, and she had that raspy voice that I like, telling Bailey, really, should you have a beer and drive your Jeep?
But actually, I thought the Lacey Chabert was probably the best looking one.
I'm not sure.
She was way too young on that show.
Yeah,
but
she was 13 at the time, but when she got older,
I'm not sure Jennifer Love Hewitt needs to be in the top 10. I'm just going to say it.
But in the 90s, she looked good.
I'll never forget, she did a thing on game day, and it was with, I don't know if you guys were watching this, but it was Berman and Mort and Tom Jackson, and I forgot who else was on the set. But she had a Green Bay Packers sweatshirt on, and she was doing "Go Shorty, it's your birthday," and they were all like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah," like in the middle of it. And it was just like so old man, like
sort of like this.
It was a Dunaway,
yeah.
It was Dunaway moments. Yep. It really was with all those guys. I didn't realize she was that top heavy.
She was, yes.
Yeah.
That's her claim to fame.
Yep.
Number 2 on this list, Monica Bellucci. She's an
even know.
Italian actress. She
Boy,
didn't do
I
a
didn't
lot.
even know her.
She was more of a, because I just remember doing a couple of things. She was more of a model. But she has got a very, very specific look.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a picture. Okay, let me find it. Keep going.
Yeah, give us number 1. That
And
you
number
disagree.
1, drum roll. I think you guys are going to agree with me, although she was attractive in spots, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
I mean, yeah. I don't know how to go number 1, but deserving of the top 5.
Yeah, she always
married Michael Douglas, right?
Yeah, she did,
Yeah.
but she always looked older than she was.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Never liked her that much either.
Ooh.
All right, that's Trash Today as Rockstar pulls that up. Brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, again, if you're looking for a little extra money this time of year, our friends at Mortgage Right, they are the ones that can help you out. The new year's here, so is your chance to make the most of your home. Our friends at Mortgage Right, they've got the perfect solution for empty pockets. Cash out refinance. To get started, go online, mortgageright.com/TNR NMLS 2239 equal housing lender.
This picture is from when Leonardo DiCaprio was way younger. He's smoking a cigarette, and this appears up on Reddit all the time. It's Monica Bellucci giving him a look, and he is trying really, really hard to stare at her face.
Yeah.
And he's got to be like 17
But
years old.
Leo's smoking, though?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, there's nobody in the paint there. Everybody's on the perimeter.
Yep.
Why? Why?
They really are.
Why is he
Looking
sitting
for a
so
three.
low?
No post players there.
Looking for a 3.
Like, did he walk over to her chair and say, "I'm going to take a knee here"? To talk to you?
He's sitting down, and she approached him.
Dude, and he is legitimately like 17 there.
Smoking a heater.
Hey.
That was an early start.
Europe's a different culture.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Back in a moment on TNR when we come back into these NFL playoffs. In the commercial break, write down the 6 guys or 5 guys. Give me a list of guys you think need to win this Super Bowl this year. It's next on the next round.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Banking is not just about your money. It's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. Brian Brown here for the next round. AmFirst was founded for members like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means service that grows and changes with the times to serve you better. Now every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you, so it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. It's even customizable, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the #1 priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. America's first federal credit union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Anheuser-Busch wants every experience for you around beer to be a good one. And getting home safely is always a priority. So encourage friends to decide to ride, whether it's by being the designated driver, calling an Uber, or taking public transit. You cannot drive drunk if you don't drive there. This message is brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and the Next Round. Anheuser-Busch. St. Louis, Missouri.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
The tradition of giving fine art continues with the Daniel A. Moore Alabama Christmas Gift Pack, including the new 2022 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar, featuring some of the most honored former Alabama players, one collegiate classic fine art print signed by the artist, and your choice of 4 Daniel A. Moore beverage mugs, all for only $79, a $115 value. Order now at danielmooreart.com or by calling 1-800-735-2787.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and our entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
The Next Round team is getting healthy in 2022. You can join the challenge as we look to lose weight with our friends at Way to Wellness. Plus, you can participate with your office as well and win a grand prize. For more information, go to nextroundlive.com.
Jesse upset no Jessica Rabbit from the 90s rock star.
Jessica Rabbit
was Rocky.
Yeah, it was 1988, 89.
She didn't
Kim
hold up.
Basinger could have been there from the 90s, right?
Kim Basinger was also. That's why I put the list on there because it's so debatable.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand that a lot of the Catherine Zeta-Jones. Yes, she's an attractive woman, but the sexiest woman of the 90s.
Odie's brings us trivia every Wednesday night. A great place to go for lunch or dinner this weekend.
Yeah, again, Roddy Davis just giving the key to the city. Just incredible food. If you've never been there before, take some friends. Go enjoy a great lunch or dinner from the award-winning wings. Delicious burgers, my personal favorite, that Diablo sandwich. You can get in there for live music this weekend. Sit back and enjoy the ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. But go see Will Haver and that great staff. It's a Birmingham institution. It's Odie's Tavern, Crestline Village.
Dale Jr., Red Farmer, NASCAR inductions going on this weekend in Charlotte. Congratulations to everybody who's going into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Brown has put together a list of names, 5 names of guys that need to win to go to the Hall of Fame. NFL.com has a list out. I want to see how much they match up, Brownie. So show us your list on the dry erase board there, and I want to see what you have for us.
Not
here.
win to go to the Hall of Fame. They just need to win a Super Bowl.
Not Hall of Fame.
Okay.
That need to win this
you
Super
want me to do
Bowl
one
this
too?
year. You can.
I did one.
You got one?
Yeah.
You got them already?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see you write them down.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see Brown's first, and then yours. I saw it over there under the paper.
I'll start bottom to top,
Okay.
and there's a theme early on here. I'm going to go 5 and 4 for the same reason: Julio Jones and Derrick Henry.
Okay.
The likelihood of either one of those getting back to another Super Bowl is fairly low. More so for Julio. He is very late in his career. He had one in his grasp, literally, and his team lost it. This is probably the last chance for Julio to win the Super Bowl, or among them. Derrick Henry is getting there. Henry's got more shelf life than Julio, but how many more shots is Derrick Henry going to get at this as a running back in the NFL? So that's why I went with those two. Sean McVay, this will be Super Bowl number 2 for him. If he can't, or if he's able to make it and win it, Lance, I mean, the odds of coaches coaching in more than 2 Super Bowls is pretty low. So, you got to take those advantages when you can. Aaron Rodgers is at the end of his career. And
he's only got one.
He's only got one. And for him to be viewed among the greatest of all time, he's probably going to need more than just the one Super Bowl. So it's more about his reputation, his legacy. And then Matt Stafford. I mean, time's ticking for Matt Stafford. I don't know how many years you think he's got left as your quarterback, Lance, but time is ticking for this guy. He's never going to be considered among the greatest quarterbacks of all time, but he could certainly change his legacy if he could add a Super Bowl ring to his resume.
Really good list.
Thank you.
Really good list. Let's see LT's here.
Okay, first, just let me see. The only reason I disagree with the Julio and Derrick Henry, because those positions you don't necessarily need to win Super Bowls to define your legacy.
You don't, but I mean, I'm just saying for those guys. I mean, you always want to say I'm a Super Bowl winner.
I'm just going like pressure.
Yeah, I got you.
And look, and there's going to be a lot of Ram flavor, but I can explain why. Number 5 on my list is Aaron Donald, because he's one of the greatest players of all time.
Yep.
He's accomplished absolutely everything in his career except win a Super Bowl, and he's been there before. Number 4, Kyle Shanahan. This is a guy that had a Super Bowl in his hip pocket just a couple of years ago, and they blew a double-digit lead. To me, Kyle Shanahan might be the best coach in the NFL. I think he's that good. So I think he needs one to cement that legacy. Number 3 on the list, I'm going to put Stafford. Stafford's already at least got one monkey off his back, winning a playoff game. But, you know, was the expectation, I know for a lot of people it was Super Bowl or bust. I think it was, probably getting to a Super Bowl. I don't know about necessarily winning one.
Raise that up a little bit above your
Number
Rams
2
thing.
on my list is Aaron Rodgers. I agree with you 100%. In order for him to be considered one of the greatest of all time, the ability is there, but you got to have the rings. And I think he needs multiple rings. And number 1 on the list is Sean McVay for me, because a lot of people believe he is the best coach in football. He's been a head coach 5 years. He's never had a losing season. He's won 3 NFC West division titles. He's been to a Super Bowl before, and there's just a tremendous amount of pressure on him in that market to not only get back to a Super Bowl, but to win one.
Yeah. It's a great list. Both of you did tremendous there.
Thank you.
NFL.com, Bucky Brooks wrote the story at NFL.com today, and he's got 6 guys.
And Sean McDermott was really close to my list, by the way.
Aaron Rodgers is on his list. They only got 1, but also the fact, as Bucky points out, of all the drama he stirred up this offseason, and to win it this year sort of makes everybody forget that a little bit. But 1 is not enough for the greatest of all. One of the greatest of all time.
If he wants to be in a discussion with the greatest of all time, he needs more than this.
Kyle Shanahan is on the list. Great pull by you. Should have been a Super Bowl champion already as an offensive coordinator.
Yep.
He's considered to be one of the best.
As an offensive coordinator and a head coach.
You don't get many. You don't get many opportunities. Kyle Shanahan is on the list. Also on this list, Derrick Henry from your list, from Bucky Brooks there.
Does he say the same thing? That, I mean, Henry's, as a running back, his days are starting to get numbered.
In a quarterback-driven league where wins and championships usually define quarterbacks, Derrick Henry's legacy is cemented, but a Super Bowl would be a cherry on the top for him. Josh Allen is on this list. I don't know why he puts Josh on this list.
You know, I thought about it, but Josh is just so young. He went to an AFC championship game last year. He's got a really difficult game this weekend in the divisional round at Kansas City. I mean, Josh Allen's got a ton of time left.
Well, he says a Josh Allen Super Bowl puts him in the same conversation with Brady, Rodgers, and Mahomes until he gets that championship. He won't be considered to be one of the league's best.
I get this, and what I find interesting is Jim Kelly went to 4 consecutive Super Bowls. Does Josh Allen all of a sudden become the greatest quarterback in Buffalo history with a win?
That's a lot to pass Jim Kelly, though.
It is, and Jim Kelly's a Hall of Famer, but Josh Allen's been great, and if he wins a championship.
Up against the clock a little bit here, but the other 2 names he put 6 there, and he puts these 2 together. It's Sean McVay and Les Snead of the Rams. And the GM has built a lot, and he's traded a lot for right now.
Has done everything. There was a moment I was doubting Les Snead, but he's done everything he can to get those guys out there.
That's why it's big for him, though. Yeah, he mortgaged the franchise.
But he can only do so much.
I know.
But they're all in now, and if they don't win now, not necessarily this year, but in the immediate future, there's some dark days ahead.
Yeah. Well, I wish they were in the AFC.
Because of the moves they made there. It's a good list as part of our morning rounds leads there. The University of Montevallo is a great lead for you as well. Every time if you're looking for a son or daughter, or you got a son or daughter, if you're looking for a place for them to go to school.
I'd like a son or daughter, please.
Son or daughter, either one. You've got a son or daughter, and you're looking for them to go to a place to go to school when they're done with high school, college, and that's the University of Montevallo, just south of Birmingham. Great location all over the Southeast. If you're watching us in Atlanta, a great place, small campus, Great 14-to-1 student-to-professor ratio. Wonderful athletics. A thriving NCAA Division II athletic department. Great facilities, fully funded, and scholarships there. 75 majors. All the dreams can come true thanks to the folks at the University of Montevallo. Go there and see how the school is expanding with new buildings going up daily. Check them out online at montevallo.edu. Montevallo.edu. When we come back, we've moved Matt Jones to 12:30 now. Punched him back a little bit. We'll continue our playoff conversation next.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
New year, new you, new opportunity. If you're looking to start a big project, consolidate some debt, or free up funds, a cash-out refinance can get you what you need. And Mortgage Right is there to make the refinancing process a breeze. Ready to start the new year with more cash in your pocket? Then head on over to mortgageright.com/TNR. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. A good locally owned company. mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. I'm absolutely loving my Alfa Romeo Stelvio that I've been in for months now, and right now you can get up to $3,500 bonus cash plus 1.9% financing for 72 months on the all-new 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulias and the Stelvios at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. Come experience the passion and performance of Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo USA of Birmingham.com, 1837 Grants Mill Road, exit 27, right off of I-459.
Stay up to date with The Next Round on the website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos from the show, plus podcasts like The Mystery Fifth Hour, Bama and Bourbon, Last Call, and others from our Double Down Media podcast family. You can start your day with the latest college football stories, plus easy to listen to hour-by-hour downloads of the live show. nextroundlive.com, a great way to stream the show live or shop in the Next Round store. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage. That's nextroundlive.com. What are some signs that you may have a low testosterone problem? Is your energy down? Have your workouts not been the same? Do you have problems sleeping? All of these or one of these could be a sign of a low testosterone issue. Whatever the challenge, the Alabama Men's Clinic has a solution for you. I'd invite you to come by the Homewood location, get a medical consultation and some blood work. And if you're medically advised and you start your low T treatments that day in the office, your visit is free. Well, the next question would be this: how do I set up the appointment? You can do it two ways. One, by calling 205-598-7000. That's 205-598-7000. Or you can go to the website, alabamamensclinic.com. There's other signs that you could have a low testosterone problem, like a change in your libido, or maybe you're suffering from depression. Whatever is keeping you from feeling 100%, it's time you find out the answer. Again, call the number 205-598-7000 or go online to alabamamensclinic.com.
Did you tweak your shoulder putting up the Christmas decorations? Injure your elbow shooting hoops in the backyard? Or finding pain in your knees getting up from the couch at halftime? Precision has 9 locations in the Birmingham metro area to get your life back on track. We're rebuilding champions on and off the field, so make that appointment today. Call 855-219-6200 or visit precisionsportsortho.com.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. And if you're like me, you probably added an inch or two to your waistline over the holidays. If Santa didn't put new shoes under your tree, it's time to treat yourself so you can walk or run those extra pounds off. Make your New Year's resolution to get out and exercise. At the New Balance Birmingham store, get the perfect fitting shoe to motivate you. Shop the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A.
Drunk driving prevention is a priority at Anheuser-Busch. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Encourage friends to join in the pledge to Decide to Ride on DecideToRide.com. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and The Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. This hour of The Next Round is presented by Cardinal Roofing, the Cardinal Rule for all your roofing needs. Your home for financing, one-day jobs, and more than 500 five-star reviews. Call Cardinal Roofing today, 205-900-ROOF, and mention The Next Round to receive $100 off your next roof replacement.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcasts like Bama and Bourbon, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show, Matt Jones, Kentucky Sports Radio, in about 30 minutes. We'll talk to him. NFL playoffs going this weekend. But first, the headlines being brought to you by Rockstar's Guy.
That man is Adam Mestre at MD Realty. Adam, my friend, is a third-generation realtor who was born and raised right here in Beeham, so he knows the area. You want a guy like Adam to find a house for you? Why rent when you can buy? Thinking of selling your house in the spring? You need to act now because January is one of the busiest months when it comes to listing homes. Call Adam Mestre for a free home evaluation at 205-422-0589 or visit mdrealtyllc.com. At MD Realty, we make house calls.
Yes.
Little sweet.
Yes, you
sweet.
do. Yes, you do. All right, the big story is Derek Mason being out. So let's revisit that for the new audience here. We started off the show with it, but here in the final hour of the show, Derek Mason is out as the defensive coordinator at Auburn. No official word yet on where Derek's going, though many people are assuming it's going to be Oklahoma State, right?
That is the assumption just based on the Athletics reporting. And Bruce on our show yesterday saying his understanding was he was in Stillwater on Wednesday. That kind of tells you most of what you need to know, I think.
You've been watching the reaction to this, them promoting up Auburn, Jeff Schmedding to be the new defensive coordinator. How's the reaction been from Auburn fans?
Kind of lukewarm. I think nobody, not a lot of recognition of the name as opposed to Derek Mason, who you knew and you knew well, right? So I think it's a lukewarm reaction right now. There's going to be a lot of wait and see, kind of like there is with Brian Harsin, I still think.
We went around the horn. We gave him a B+ this past year.
Derek Mason.
Yeah, Derek Mason. I mean, again, they were 27th in scoring defense, only giving up 21 points per game. That was just a little bit behind Alabama this year. I would assume that Auburn fans are a little disappointed that they're losing Derek Mason.
Well, you get a couple different reactions on that front, Lance. You get the, hey, if he doesn't want to be here, good riddance, right?
That's always a good place to start.
When Bruce Feldman on our show yesterday said,
like you and the dog, right?
Yeah, every time. I don't think he and Brian Harsin are on the same page. There were a lot of Auburn fans when we tweeted that from Bruce that said, hey, if he can't see eye to eye with the head coach, he needs to get the crap out of here. And they kind of started turning. And then some others are like, I kind of like what he did last year. But he still gets criticism for several games. We mentioned the Georgia State game, the Mississippi State game, a little bit for the South Carolina game too. So, that's also a fairly mixed reaction.
There's got to be something too, and this happens all the time. When you're once a head coach, and then you go back to being a coordinator and you're working for somebody else.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, right?
Yeah, it really is, because you think, in your mind, hey, look, I want to do it this way. He's doing it that way. I totally disagree with the way he's doing this.
How tough do you think it was on Doug Marrone and Bill O'Brien this year?
Oh.
I mean, those guys were NFL head coaches.
Yeah, but, at least they're going in, and no disrespect to Brian Harsin. Brian Harsin's obviously a good coach. Nick Saban's the best to ever do it. So I think those guys kind of fall in line knowing, hey, whatever the way this guy's doing it, it's going to work.
Yeah. And there's a pretty good chance I'm going to play for a championship.
Yeah.
Which they did.
Now, the other part of the story is a couple of coaches coming in with the staff. Schmedding is being promoted to defensive coordinator. Linebacker coach Christian Robinson is coming from Florida. And then Jimmy Brumbaugh is coming in as well, a well-recognized, successful Auburn player who has been a very successful position coach and considered to be a really good recruiter in SEC land. So he's coming in, and you're getting a little bit more of a guy who's used to being out dogging it on the recruiting trail more than the head coach had been.
Did Jimmy Brumbaugh get fired at halftime by Tennessee? Do I remember that correctly?
It seems like that was.
Yeah, it seems right.
Seems like that was the case.
That was in the Jeremy Pruitt era, so that was kind of a mess anyway. But yeah, so it's a guy that's got ties to the Southeastern Conference. He's been a coach at Kentucky and has been a coach at Tennessee. But yes, I think Jeremy Pruitt did in fact fire him at halftime.
Yeah, and a lot of people love what he'll bring to the table for Auburn in recruiting. Matt Zennett's confirming what we told you earlier in the show, that Jalen Moody, Alabama linebacker, has flipped around. He's gone in the portal and out of the portal, not going to go to Texas. He's going to stay at Alabama now, giving some experience and depth to that Alabama room there. And also, and we mentioned this a little bit earlier as well, you got the contract extension for Cal head coach Justin Wilcox out there in Berkeley all the way through 2027. So that's some of the football movements that are happening. The NFL going on this weekend. We'll know today, Mike Vrabel says, whether or not Derrick Henry will be cleared to play, how they will play him and all that as they get ready for their big game coming up tomorrow, Cincinnati and Tennessee. Here's Derrick Henry, Rockstar, talking about him being back. In his mind, he's already playing in the game tomorrow, and he's full go.
Football. It's all I've done since I was 5 years old, and it's what I fell in love with. And it's just the first time something like this has happened. And just adversity, and you just got to overcome it. And thankful for the trainers, my girlfriend who was driving me here 5 weeks straight when I couldn't drive. And everybody that supported me, Titans fans wrote get well letters. I definitely appreciate that, and just having faith in the man above, and just continue to rehab, continue to get healthy, and being able to have this opportunity right here.
Yeah, 9-10 weeks out of rehab, trying to get back, and it looks like he's going to play tomorrow. I know Vrabel's playing it close to the vest. I don't know the workload. Yesterday, Roman Harper said that he expected Derrick to get some carries, but the fact that they've done it without Derrick Henry for the past 9 games allows them to feel a little bit more comfortable doing it with other people.
Yeah, Deontay Foreman's been good. He hasn't been Derrick Henry, but better has been Ryan Tannehill. He's posted almost an 80 total QBR, third best in the NFL over the last 3 weeks of the regular season. So at least Tannehill's playing with a lot of confidence. And I don't know if you guys realize this, but Vrabel is almost Belichick-like when he comes off a bye. Vrabel is 8-0, not only against the number, but also outright when he has at least 9 days between games.
He's got to be your NFL Coach of the Year. Has to be. I don't know any other way you could go with it.
Zach Taylor would be there. I mean, for winning the AFC North at Cincinnati.
But for Vrabel to lose his best offensive player, which he did mid-season, and still get the 1 seed, that doesn't happen in the NFL.
I guess when Henry went down, and Lunsford, who's a Titans fan, will remember us saying this, we thought that was it for the Titans.
I thought they might not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, and they end up the 1 seed.
Well, because, Indianapolis was ascending. They were playing their best football at that particular point, and you thought the Titans would go in the other direction. You guys remember the classic scene from Coming to America, I think second reference today, when Prince Hakeem went in and got the snip, and he just threw it over his shoulder.
$8.
What would it cost for you to snip Derrick Henry's out of the helmet?
Well, it's whatever you want to leave for your
edge clippers.
Yeah. It's whatever you want to leave behind for your family.
Yeah. All right, it's nothing out of the wallet. It's a question of how many chiclets I'm going to get. How many teeth I'm going to get.
It's whatever I want my wife and kids to inherit.
I don't know how long that thing's been growing, but
he would have been upset about that.
You know what's crazy? I was looking at this yesterday. Fox tweeted out the 5 stars on each of these rosters. How many 5 stars?
I only saw the AFC. Did they do the NFC?
They did the NFC. No, they only did the AFC. You're right. Now that I look at it, but the 4 on the Titans roster were Julio Jones, Alabama; Rashaan Evans, Alabama; Jeffrey Simmons, Mississippi State; and Christian Fulton, LSU. And what jumped out at me is Derrick Henry was not a 5-star. That guy slayed it in Florida and was incredible, obviously in college. And I went back and looked. I don't know. This says, according to 24/7 Sports, they had him 5 stars as an athlete, but Rivals, in fact, had him 4-star as a running back.
Yeah, remember, I think it was Luganbill who said he should flip to linebacker.
I thought he would, because Nick Saban generally has liked the smaller, more compact, and Henry looks like a linebacker.
I looked everywhere because I wanted to see Jimmy Garoppolo if he even had stars coming out.
Yeah, I can't find the NFC.
And I wanted to see. I don't think Matthew Stafford was a 5-star guy. He might have been. I thought he was 4.
Boy, he was pretty high though coming to Georgia.
Speaking of Matthew Stafford, got him cued and ready to go. That game leads us off on the Sunday slate. So Titans hosting the Bengals, Packers hosting the Niners on Saturday. Sunday it's the Buccaneers hosting the Rams, and Matt Stafford, of course, all week long getting questions. Now, first of all, when you do an interview in front of a dry erase board, I always just want to
read what's back
freeze there, and then zoom in and see what's written on the board.
You know what it looks like?
Be careful
historical
with your
quotes.
words.
Is it historical quotes?
Yeah, we got Martin Luther King right there over his right shoulder.
Yep. So that's what's on the board. Motivation board there for Matt Stafford. A dream board, if you will.
And you got to go out of your way to get back in that office to read them, though, don't you?
Here is Stafford talking about facing off against the GOAT, Tom Brady.
The biggest thing about going against a guy like Tom is just knowing his consistency and his ability to get his team in the end zone. He's done a great job throughout his career, both in New England and in Tampa, of scoring points. And so, and doing it kind of every which way is called upon him, whether they're going to run it, throw it deep, throw it underneath, whatever it is. He always has a great game plan to go out there and execute it at a high level. So as an offense, we know we need to do the same. We're going to have to, we pack a great defense. We know that. Those guys are unbelievable players and dominated the game on Monday. But at the same time, as an offense, it's a challenge. You're going to have to go out there and score points and enough to compete with a team that's led by Tom. And he's shown year in and year out how capable he is at doing that, especially this time of year.
Of all 4 games, there is the one I'm most concerned about having to play from behind, having to get off to a good start. It's Tampa Bay against the Rams. Because when Tampa Bay loses games, they don't score on that first drive, or they don't score on that second drive, that they get behind 2 scores before they get their offense going, and they don't play their best ball at that point. Because at that point, you don't have to buy in to Tom Brady's play action passing as much, right? You can give up a little bit on the run and just keep from the big plays happening, and that's when Brady is so good. So I have confidence that Cincinnati or Tennessee could come back from 2 scores. I just saw it from the 49ers against your Rams, so they could do it against the Packers. The Packers could do it against the 49ers. The Bills and the Chiefs will be a pinball game. In that game, the Buccaneers can't get behind. They got to score early.
Well, and the same with the Rams. I mean, if you get behind on the road against Tom Brady, a guy that's won 34 postseason games, that guy, Matt Stafford, just got his first.
That's right.
Tom Brady's got 34.
Mismatch.
I really think it comes down to the injuries. Wirfs, Jensen, Fournette, are those guys going to play? I just read that Taylor Rapp. So Nick Bosa is, I think, already cleared concussion protocol from last Sunday or last Saturday, whenever it was San Francisco played. Taylor Rapp still has not cleared concussion protocol from the San Francisco game almost 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
sometimes it takes longer.
He's not going to play. It's weird how the brain works. But I think this does come down to injuries. Who's going to play? Who's not going to play? If Wirfs and Jensen are out with that offensive line, when you've got to go against A'Shaun Robinson, played a hell of a game. Nobody talks about him, but he complements what Aaron Donald does right now. Von Miller is playing like he's 28 again. Leonard Floyd has been great this year. If that Rams front against a really banged up, depleted offensive line, already 4 sacks last week to Philadelphia, that could be a problem for Tom Brady.
I want to touch on something you just mentioned, because it's weird you brought this up. My dad texted me prior to the start of Tampa and Philadelphia, and he said, "What are the odds you think Brady drives for a touchdown here to start the game?" I don't know what odds you guys would have put on it. I said 70%. I thought it was 70% Brady drives for a touchdown. It turns out the odds were 100%. He drove for a touchdown.
It seems very high that I don't think the betting odds would have been 70%.
Probably not, but that's what I felt it was.
I mean, closer to 50-50.
Well, and because I do think it's important in this game you brought up. And I don't have an answer to this. I'm just curious what you guys think. What do you think the NFL odds are on how often the team that gets the ball first drives for a touchdown in an NFL game?
For a touchdown or a field goal?
Touchdown.
Touchdown, I'd say 25%.
Oh, I said 25 or 30 is what I thought.
1 out of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably about right.
But, you
for
say...
a score, I'd say 50-50.
Yeah, for a score, just including the field goal. And you say that about Tampa, and I see what you're saying, but I will also remind you, and I hate to bring this up to Lance, but they were up 17-0 on San Francisco.
Yep.
Was that the halftime score, 17-0?
And the funny thing, I totally forgot this because, I was so enamored in that game, and I never saw the stat come up. But I think going into that game, McVay, well documented, was 40-0 when leading at halftime.
Yep.
And I didn't even realize it after losing that game until last week, going in 21-0 on Arizona. I was like, okay, I feel good about this because McVay's got the lead. And then I remembered last week, he finally lost his first game with a halftime lead. But I think he's 41-1 now with a halftime lead.
But I feel the same as you. I feel like if you're Tampa, you got to get up early in that game.
Tom Brady, though, they played already once this year out in L.A., and the Rams handed it to the Buccaneers. Brady was asked about, what do you learn from that game?
It doesn't really matter what happened, in October when we played them last. It's really about this game and what we learned from the last game. And anytime you know your opponent, I think that always gives you a little bit of understanding of kind of what they do well, things you wish you would have done. But it's a very talented football team. Obviously, one of the great teams in the NFL, really good offense, tremendous defense, really well coached, great specialists. So it's going to be a very, very difficult game for us.
I would not ask Forrester ever to do this, but maybe you guys remember that after that game on the show, what did I say?
That you said the Rams won the Super Bowl.
No, but I also said since the beginning of the year I thought the Rams would win the Super Bowl.
You said, let me tell you about the University of Montevallo.
No, I said Tampa played that game like they were testing some things out, not showing some things because they know they're going to face them again in the playoffs. And if you go back and
that would be one of the dumbest things in the world for Bruce Arians to do. It really would be.
Go back and watch that game. I think they played that game not with their normal, typical game planning that they usually do. I felt like they played that game setting up some things for this game.
One thing you could tell Tom Brady to do is not try during a game.
We're going to throw a bunch of crap against the wall.
I never thought that at all. The only thing I would say is the Rams roster, although Jordan Fuller, that injury, and if Taylor Rapp doesn't play, both your starting safeties are out, that's big. But this Rams roster with the additions of Odell and Von Miller, they're a better team than they were when they played Tampa earlier this year. And you remember one of the big storylines of that game was Deshaun Jackson and how he was burning that Tampa secondary. And Deshaun Jackson, obviously no longer a Ram, but Odell has the ability to do that. Van Jefferson has the ability to do that. I think the Rams roster is better. I think the head coach is better. But the problem is that guy right there, you can't doubt Tom Brady. He is almost impossible to eliminate in this round. That's what's scary about this game.
If you're the Rams and you're up 4 and you kick it back to him with a $140 left, how good do you feel?
You don't feel good. You probably lose the game.
Probably lose the game. He's the best that's ever done it.
Now, if you kick it back up 9 with
I feel a lot better. It's a 2-possession game at that point.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
and you're wearing them bone jerseys.
We're not going to get to wear the bone because Bruce Arians is scared of the bone.
But he does like the meat. Should we do a money line stake bet? No points. I mean, it's only 2.5 anyway. Should we just go straight money line? You take your Rams, I take my Bucks for a stake.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah,
just straight money line stake bet there.
Because I think if the Rams win, I think the Rams will win this game by double digits comfortably. I think either the Bucks win a really tight game or the Rams win this game by 14.
All right, so no money line, just strictly gentleman's bet here, straight stake bet. I paid one off earlier this week. I got the Bucks, he's got the Rams, no points. Good old-fashioned. Forget Vegas. We're going to do this Birmingham style, just straight up. Brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right. They're here with us since the beginning, and will be with us till the end of time. They're great guys, and that's the way they'll treat your mortgage as well. They keep all the paperwork here in Alabama. But listen, if you're watching us from around the globe, they've got offices in Louisiana. They got offices in Kentucky, in Georgia, Iowa. Woo! They got offices everywhere.
I know
the
what you did
new
there.
year is here. So here is your chance to make the most of your home. Our friends at Mortgage Right, they've got the perfect solution for empty pockets, a cash-out refinance. With a cash-out refinance, you can fund your new year by taking advantage of home equity. The best part is you can use the cash to pay for anything you want. The experts at Mortgage Right will guide you every single step of the way and making getting extra cash easy. Get started online today. Go to mortgageright.com/TNR, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Listener.
3 and out, then Matt Jones straight ahead on the next round.
Follow LT on Twitter @TheLanceTaylor.
If you're looking for a great place for food and fun for the entire family and friends, Beef O'Brady's has been doing that for more than a decade here in Birmingham. Ryan Brown here for the next round. 3 great locations, Hoover, Helena, and now Highway 280 in the Brook Highlands neighborhood. In fact, I was in there recently and had wings that George McClain does himself that aren't even on the menu. Blackened, tossed in sweet jalapeno sauce and finished on the grill, spectacular. And now you can enjoy the food and fun at 3 great Beef O'Brady's locations in Hoover, Helena, and now on Highway 280. Beef O'Brady's, the perfect place for serving up food and fun. Have you had a pipe burst, a washing machine overflow? Maybe your toilet or bathtub has overflowed upstairs and now you have water coming through your ceiling. Big problem for you? No problem. For a Dry Tech specialist, they're ready to help. It is important to act immediately when water damage occurs. Failing to do so can cause mold, rot, and mildew issues. Long-term exposure to these toxins can cause many health issues down the road. So act fast. Your first step is calling Dry Tech Solutions, 205-637-0143. They have 24/7 emergency services, 205-637-0143 or mydrytech.com.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant Bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Hey, if you're looking for a local agent to handle all of your insurance needs, you need to call my good friend James Anthony at the James Anthony Agency, 205-985-7717. Hoover, Birmingham, Northport, and Tuscaloosa has been in business over 20 years. The James Anthony Agency.
On the field or in the office, you need a solid team and a strong game plan if you want to beat the competition. Xerox Business Solutions Southeast offers everything from printers to managed IT services, as well as hybrid work hardware solutions through our titanium partnership with Dell. For championship-level office solutions, get Xerox Business Solutions Southeast into your starting lineup. Visit xbssoutheast.com/win. Touchdown!
This hour of the next round is presented by Cardinal Roofing, the Cardinal Rule for all your roofing needs. Your home for financing, one-day jobs, and more than 500 five-star reviews. Call Cardinal Roofing today, 205-900-ROOF, and mention the next round to receive $100 off your next roof replacement.
With college football coming to a close, the work doesn't stop for LancesLock.com. College hoops, the NBA, the NFL playoffs, all the way through the Super Bowl. If there is action out there, we've got action on it. Get on board with us. It's the greatest deal in the history of sports gambling at only $90 a month. That breaks down to $3 a day, and you get it all. Basketball, football, baseball, and more. Go to LancesLock.com to subscribe. If you're tired of losing, start playing and win with us. LancesLock.com. Again, go online, LancesLock.com. New year, new you. Get past those old aches and pains. Let Stretch Zone help you work towards your goals easier. Come see us for a free stretch, then give us 12 weeks while you stretch towards your goals in 2022. To learn more, 205-509-2349 or online, stretchzonebham.com.
Cardinal Roofing would like to inform you of a few cardinal rules for roofing. Shingle roofs should be replaced every 10 to 15 years. Damage from storms may be covered by insurance. Leaks are typical where vent pipes come through the roof or in a valley where two slopes come together. But the most important cardinal rule is to always call Cardinal Roofing for all your roofing needs. Cardinal Roofing is your home for financing, one-day jobs, and more than 500 five-star reviews. 205-900-ROOF. That's 205-900-7663. Mention the next round and get $100 off your next roof replacement.
Your 24-hour home for the show is our website, nextroundlive.com. Easy links to the day's top stories in the morning rounds, plus the latest videos from the show, podcasts like Bama and Bourbon, The Mystery Fifth Hour, Last Call, and other shows from our Double Down Media podcast family. Nextroundlive.com, a great way to stream the show live or find easy-to-listen-to hour-by-hour downloads from the Next Round Live show. And get the latest gear in the Next Round store. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage. That's nextroundlive.com.
All right, quickly to three now because Matt Jones is on the other side of this. It's brought to you by the wonderful folks at Vulcan Tires.
Yeah, again, locally owned and operated. If you need to get that car winterized, it feels like it out there today. Make sure you take it by. See the guys from the brake pads, wheel alignment, tires, and more. They can do it bumper to bumper for you and your family. 4 locations and online, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
First down.
More rushing yards this weekend. The entire San Francisco offense or Derrick Henry?
Oh, I'd go entire San Francisco offense. Yeah. They got more rushing yards.
Yeah. I'm gonna go San. They like to run the football.
I'm surprised you asked that question. Do you think Derrick Henry's gonna have a big day?
You know, the John McClain who was on earlier. I guess he's checked. He seems like a guy that likes to gamble. By the way, he knew
he did throw out a lot of odds
of everything.
Yes.
But the over/under is 18.5 carries. I just think if Derrick Henry is cleared, they're going to give him the ball as many times as they need to give him the ball.
Yeah, John took the under there. I would probably go over that.
I think you want to give him the ball at certain points in the game. I don't think you can just go out and rely on him offensively. I agree with Roman. He'll have 20 to 25 carries, not 25 to 30 carries.
See, I wish I knew Derrick Henry was really 100% because I think he goes out and goes 150 plus on that Cincinnati defense if he is 100%.
See, I think the bigger question is who's got more rushing yards, Joe Mixon or Derrick Henry? Same game.
I think it's, again, it just depends if Derrick Henry, Mixon was kind of missing last week. I'll say this about San Francisco. That is going to be what they're going to try to do all night long, and they should have success. I would go San Francisco, too, unless, Henry has one of those special games, which he could.
Second down.
More total touchdowns on Sunday, Mahomes or Allen?
I think I'll go Mahomes. I think they're going to win the game.
I'll go Allen because I think they're going to win the game.
Yeah.
I can't figure this game out right now.
I think it's a track meet. I think it's a fun game.
It's a really tough game. I think so many people are looking the way Buffalo played last weekend and the way Buffalo handled them week 5 earlier this year.
I don't know what the total is. I'd bet the under.
Yeah, you don't. You think just because I've said it's a track
No,
meet,
it's not you. Everybody in the world.
John McClain.
John McClain. It's going to be so many points. And I've watched games where it's going to be so many points, and it ends up being not so many points.
Third down.
Quarterback in orange with more passing yards this weekend, Burrow or Brady?
We don't have any orange.
You have a hint with that pewter on the pants.
We have some orange piping.
Yeah, it's still orange.
Piping. Brady or Burrow. I'd go Burrow in that because to win the game, we got to run the football. So we're going to run the football. Brady will pass for 280. I think Burrow hits 300.
I earlier this week predicted offhand, probably thinking about it when I'd have said this, that the Bengals are going to win that game. If they're going to win that game, Burrow has more passing yards than Brady.
But I could see either one of these teams get behind, and both of these guys have a lot of yards.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
Hakeem Olajuwon. We brought him up on the show multiple times.
Dream.
Today. The Dream is 60 years old today. If I asked you the better career, the Dream or George Clooney?
Better careers?
Yeah.
I think I'd go George Clooney.
I'd go the Dream.
Yeah.
I mean, underrated, and because
he's a top 3-4 center of all time.
Of all time, right? Exactly right. And because he was not American, that
wasn't as marketable back then.
Right. Exactly. So he didn't get the commercials that you get now. We just didn't have the diversity when it come to commercials that we've got now. I believe if Olajuwon and the NBA was being played the way it is now as it was back then, he'd be a superstar.
Oh, he'd be the best big by far because he's so athletic, too. I mean, that was one of the things. The athleticism for Olajuwon was so underrated.
And look at the Greek Freak. I mean, how many commercials do you see the Greek Freak in, right?
Not a lot.
Right, exactly. So that's what keeps you from thinking he was as good as he was, because you're used to seeing Jordan and Barkley and Bird and all these commercials. Hakeem could play.
I would go Clooney, though. I think Clooney is a very underrated actor.
Very good. Best movie for Clooney. Best role.
Batman Forever, probably?
Really?
No, I'm kidding.
His best role was ER.
That's what it was.
I thought, was it Michael Collins?
Clayton.
Michael Clayton or
Up in the
Sirianni was really good.
What about Up in the Air?
He was good in that.
You know, another one I like him is Ocean's 11. I like that movie.
As Danny Ocean, he was
really good.
I've said this before. He is like Michael Douglas. He's one of the more Alec Baldwin, very comfortable actors.
What was the one that you love with him with Jennifer Lopez that I can't stand?
Oh, Out of Sight was
Out
incredible.
of Sight. I was not a fan.
That's probably my favorite Clooney movie. It is.
His best role was on ER. That's where he became famous. Was ER?
That is true. That's where he became famous. Yeah,
absolutely.
All the women liked him, right?
And I mean, he was the first McDreamy, Dr. McDreamy, before McDreamy was. He was pre-McDreamy.
A lot of Dreamy in there.
Dreamy before
Goose
McDreamy
was on that too, right?
He was. Goose Anthony Edwards.
The dude with Soul Glow, Eric LaSalle.
He was. That's right.
Yeah.
And then who was the geek? Noah Wiley?
Yep. He was on there. Who were the females?
Juliana
Margulies was on there.
She was. I don't know the other girls, but of course I liked the homely looking doctor. She had more personality. I always choose
Doogie.
No, you like the one that had the baby fat, right?
Yeah. That's what I liked. That's my style.
Don't like Denise Richards, but boy, I like the girl with the baby fat.
When we come back, speaking of baby fat, we'll continue the show. Matt Jones joins us on the other side. That was 3 and Out, brought to you by Vulcan Tire.
Yeah, again, 4 locations for you. Take that car by. Go see the guys, locally owned and operated. Great at what they do. Brake pads, wheel alignment, tires, and more. They can do it for you and your family. For more information, VulcanTireandAuto.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
If you're looking for a fun golf atmosphere that is laid back with a peaceful environment, the Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280, is perfect for you. Just a short drive from Birmingham, this 18-hole, 200-acre track with rolling fairways and ample greens is the definition of peacefulness of the country just miles from the city. Enjoy a great lunch before your round and a cocktail on the wraparound porch after 18. Come see us today. The Meadows Golf Course in Harpersville, right off of Highway 280. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
The new location of Walk-Ons is now open at Stadium Trace in Hoover near the Hoover Met. And just like the location off Highway 280, you get authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine prepared fresh from scratch every day. Walk-Ons Happy Hour is 2 to 6 Monday through Friday. $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. Download the Walk-Ons mobile app for an easy take-home experience for the family. It's game day with a taste of Louisiana at Walk-Ons off Highway 281-19 and now at Stadium Trace near the Hoover Met. Banking isn't just about your money, it's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. AmFirst was founded for members just like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means services that grow and change with the times to serve you better. Now, every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you, so it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. You can even customize the app, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the #1 priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. That's amfirst.org. America's first federal credit union, federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Farmfolio. If you're concerned about market volatility or inflation, Farmfolio can help you diversify your portfolio into cash-flowing farmland property. We all know about rental real estate. Cash flow and appreciation are the name of the game. With Farmfolio's productive farmland lots, your trees act as the tenants, and they pay you in fruit, which is sold by Farmfolio's international sales team to the likes of Walmart and Costco, ultimately generating cash flow for you. As your cash flow increases, your property value also increases. Just like tenant-occupied real estate, the best part is you don't have to be a farmer. You own, they farm, and you earn. This is the way it works at Farmfolio. For more information, you can go online, check everything out today. Go to farmfolio.net. That's farmfolio.net. Check it out today. If you're concerned about that market volatility or inflation, Farmfolio is your best friend. Go online today, farmfolio.net.
When it comes to choosing a dentist, two things are critical: trust and comfort. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. It's why I tell you about Stone Creek Dental Care. Dentist owned and operated, and Stone Creek Dental Care is the Southeast premier provider of comprehensive dental care with more than 20 locations, including Birmingham, Chattanooga, Huntsville, Trussville, and Montgomery. Stone Creek Dental Care is able to provide a level of quality care you will not find anywhere else. From your basic cleaning to restorative dentistry, cosmetics, and endodontics, Stone Creek Dental Care covers a wide and comprehensive range of dental services for patients of any age. Stone Creek Dental Care's mission is to provide the highest quality dental care to every single patient in an environment that exemplifies the highest ethical, personal, compassionate, and professional standards, and to provide the best patient experience possible. Stone Creek Dental Care is currently accepting new patients at all locations, and new patients get a free Chick-fil-A gift card at your first appointment. So visit StoneCreekDentalCare.com to find a location nearest you. StoneCreekDentalCare.com.
Back with you on the Next Round. Part of our show today being brought to you by the great folks at Michelson Laser Vision. LT used to not be able to read the clock on the wall over there.
Oh, blind as a bat, Dunaway. Didn't even realize it. I had 2200 vision because I wore the contacts for years. Finally went out to see if LASIK was right for me. It was. After the procedure, which only took 12 minutes, 2015 vision, better than 2020. To find out if LASIK is right for you, write the number down, 969-8100. Call, ask for Amy, tell her the Next Round sent you. They're going to hook you up, hassle-free consultation. See if LASIK is right for you in 2022. Call